Oops. What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great... What? What? Doing what?
In the XFL.
Okay.
For the Seattle Dragons.
All right, so breaking news. Ben DiNucci got a job in the XFL. Whoopie-doo. What's up, Mike? I am actually in a state of shock at this moment. We've got the game going on. Is it snowing or is that the...
Yeah, it is snowing.
Snowing in Green Bay. Who knew?
Not surprised.
We have some interesting news. Okay, there's all of the different social platforms. What's up, Mike? Sugar Daddy Williams, GTG, Titans Up family, Crazy Corvette. How are you doing? How's everybody doing tonight? Probably you're doing better than what's going on at Twitter right now. So Elon Musk has done his best to fuck up Twitter. And he has done an extremely great job in literally, in record time, basically dismantling the company. He came in the front door and literally fired half of the organization and realized, I need some of these people to work. And so there were about 3,700 employees that were left. And basically he told all of them, you, my friend, are going to have to pick up the slack. We're going to have tough days ahead of us, and you're going to have to work your ass like double shifts and be in the office. And apparently he gave a ultimatum the other day that said basically to the 3,700 employees that were left, that you were either going to sign up for working all these extra hours, like 14-hour days, or get a 3-month buyout. And basically everybody just said, screw you, and left, with the exception of about 25% of the staff. And the only reason, big play by the Titans. The only people to actually stay are ones that are basically indentured services because they have a work visa, so they can't leave. Double Titans will throw 47 times versus this D. Well, they've already got the big pass play down deep in the snow. What's up, Ruben Walls? How are you doing? Elon did that with Tesla too. Yeah, but I don't know that that's going to work with Twitter. You got to have some people to run this thing. Wow. Shout out to all the workers at Twitter. You built a vital place for connecting and serving much better. Millions of people appreciate this space. It's literally burning down as we speak right now. Twitter is done. Wow. This is crazy. It's like literally it's crazy. Elon Musk is an egotistical as Jerry Jones. Hey, Mark. Yes, I did, Damien. I've just been real busy. Yeah, I see you want to get a butcher block instead of the print. The only thing is that butcher block costs a whole lot more than the print, and shipping on that thing is kind of out the chain. But I'll email you and talk to you about it. Showing here too damn much. Oh, snowing there too much, and they're calling for a big snowstorm in Buffalo this weekend. How's everybody doing? I'm sorry, I'm just sitting here looking at, because people are literally saying their goodbyes to Twitter. Mark Hutton, what's up, Mark? Shout out to Mark. People are doing their last tweet. I hate mayonnaise and stuff like that. That it's literally burning to the ground. That nobody is staying there to work with it. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Twitter. My Instagram is tweeting. Rest in peace, Twitter. With Twitter. Twitter headquarters without Twitter. When Twitter. Since Twitter. I mean, literally, all the tweets on Twitter are about Twitter. And it's dying. Wow. Everybody's rest in peace, Twitter. Mark, you watching Moonraker movie? Okay. Oh, there we go. We got the Brianator. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. We them boys. Hold up. We're making noise. We got the Brianator. What's up, Bri?
What's up, Mark Holmes?
Oh my God, man! See, you're one of the big Twitter guys out there.
Yeah, I just woke up from a nap. I was up at 4:45. What happened?
Okay, well, Elon Musk put out the whole for the people that were left this edict that you're going to be working like double shifts and everything else because we've got to hit the grindstone because all these other people left, right? And you guys have to make up for all the work that's gone. So it was 3,700 employees that were left after, half of them being fired and people walking off. And so they had until 4:00 today, West Coast time, to either sign up for saying, yeah, I'm going to work my ass off for you for no extra money, or get a buyout of 3 months. And the people that got buyouts before are still waiting for their buyouts check to come in. 75% of the people just said, we're out.
Later.
And the 25 that are left are basically people that are here on work visas that can't.
Oof.
So there's less than 1,000 people left at Twitter right now.
Wow.
To run that thing. So it is literally blowing
I guess
up.
I'll be getting scammed more.
Good luck with that one. So, it used to be I would go to Twitter when there was a problem on YouTube to see what's going on with YouTube.
Right.
Oh, no. It's like every tweet is like, a million tweets about rest in peace Twitter without Twitter or, Elon Musk blew up Twitter.
Too much money in that to lose it, but.
Yeah. Does it? When you have that,
north,
when you have that kind of money.
Last year's salute to service. Either last year, it's like the shirt. I like the black.
Wow. Story to be updated soon. So I'm hearing.
What's up?
I'm hearing several critical infrastructure engineering teams at Twitter have completely resigned. You cannot run Twitter without this team. One current engineer tells me of one such group. Also, Twitter has shut off badge accesses to its offices. They've shut down their headquarters.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just checking it out now.
David Wiley. David, are you coming this weekend? I've actually did a test today. I've been trying to do some research on Minnesota Eats, and the only thing I can find are cheese curds and a Juicy Lucy. Now I always thought a Lucy was like a cigarette, wasn't it? Wasn't a Lucy was a loose cigarette? But in Minnesota, they have the Juicy Lucy, which is 2 burgers with a piece of cheese in between it. And what I did was I markized one, and we did some for dinner. I took took my hamburger and I mashed it real thin. I put some pepper jack cheese and cheddar cheese in the middle of it, and then put the other half on the other side and grilled that thing. And had some fresh apple spice. Not fresh. Apple smoked bacon on it.
Ooh, yeah.
Grilled onions and jalapenos. So I'm gonna do about 20 of those and put them on a sub for this weekend.
You got the sub, hopefully, right?
Yes, first thing this morning, they said, "Do you need a sub this weekend?" I said, "Hell yes." The Cowboys lost, and it's on you, brother. It's on you. Okay. Cheeseburger made with cheese inside of it. Yeah, that's all it is. But it's like the thing is you put so much cheese in there, it's like molten hot lava. So you have to let it cool so you don't burn your tongue. But I'm thinking because Minneapolis is cold, they want something hot. I think that's the case. But anyway. All right, so hello, good people. We are here watching the Green Bay Packers in the snow, and it seems like my app is having problems. I'm wondering if it's connected to Twitter or something, because it seems kind of blurry today. I don't know if I need to reboot the router or what, or if it's actually
they're all white today.
Yeah, and we have the Titans up already 7-0. Now watch. We're gonna see the Packers look like ass, and which will make us look like ass either. So,
yeah.
If you just woke up from a nap, well, did you take your nap before or after Ndamukong Suh got signed by the Eagles?
I saw it, but by the time I saw it, I knew you saw it. Yeah. I didn't see the details. I can't imagine it's that much. But what did they give him?
I don't know what they gave him.
Yeah,
It's just a
curious.
1 year deal.
He's normally a guy who won't play for minimum type stuff. He's always holds out for some serious money. So I didn't know they had that. I know they had what? I think they had a little less than us, maybe.
Could
But
be.
yeah, so they got Ndamukong Suh and they got Linval Joseph. So David Wiley, I'll be there. Mark sounds good.
Um,
It's crazy.
yeah, it's going to be interesting to say the least. I almost feel like people sign players just to, piss off the Cowboys. I'm not sure how much Namakin. Now, he did have 6 sacks and 17 tackles last year on a great defense with Tampa Bay. But we're talking about somebody who hasn't had any offseason, hasn't had any training camp. This is kind of like us bringing in Jason Peters in some regard. I'm not saying that he'll be as bad as Jason Peters was, but you're starting a guy out now. He's got to get up to speed. How long is that going to take for him to get used to it? And it's kind of crazy because the Eagles here, they got Lavelle Joseph yesterday, right? Ndamukong Suh today, and then Robert Quinn, 2 weeks ago?
Um,
They're getting all these old guys that they're
I
bringing
forgot
in.
they got Robert Quinn.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They get so many guys, you forget. Now, he played last
yeah,
week
I
and
forgot
had
all about that.
two
What happened with
assists.
him last week? I guess he
I
wasn't
think 2
active,
tackles or 2 assists.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, they lost. Right?
yeah. I take some. Yeah, we were. Well, yeah, we were on. So I ended up not falling asleep. I ended up watching it anyway. I was like, wow. I was excited. They had some help with the with the calls. I'll tell you, the refereeing has been horrible,
Yeah. You know,
horrible.
the thing I wonder is, and this is what I kind of was starting thinking about. Because we get triggered every time somebody gets signed on a team. The Cowboys don't care about winning. All these teams are building up. Well, okay. Von Miller signs with Buffalo, right?
Yeah,
Has that changed Buffalo and made it a better team? They got the same record. They're in the same spot we are right now. They're third in their division. They're 6-3. We're
I think
6-3.
Yeah,
It didn't make
I
them a
know.
superpower, right?
No, but I think what happens in the big games, those players come out. That's
Well,
that's all I would say in that close game. Just like Zeke. I think if we had Zeke the other night, I think we win the game. Not because of his stats or because he's so dynamic, but he's the type of guy that if he's on your team, you feel comfortable giving him the ball in the fourth quarter just to pound the other team.
Jose says,
Whereas,
hey, Mark Holmes, Dak better get his head out his ass. I don't want to see a repeat from last year. Jose, I appreciate your passion, but I hope Kellen Moore gets his head out of his ass and Mike McCarthy gets his head out of his ass. Because you know what the Washington Commanders did? Even though they averaged only 3.9 yards per carry, as opposed to the 4.7 that the Dallas Cowboys actually average, they kept running the football.
yeah,
They kept running the football at the Eagles. And for some reason, even though we actually average, believe it or not, almost a half yard more per carry on the ground than the Eagles do. The Eagles only average 4.4. No, I'm sorry, 4.3. We average 4.7. We don't believe in the run. I don't understand that. You're up by 14.
that was my main
Analytics
thing.
should tell you, let's run the football and run out the clock. Play keep away. How is it we're throwing 46 times?
Yeah, I was that. I mean, I hadn't been that upset since week one, but vocally I was upset. That was not. Listen, and I see like a lot of people that you would think are in the know that know what they're talking about. That go, well, um, and they try and play the Tony Pollard against Zeke play.
You need them both.
It's not about I like Zeke over Pollard. It's not. But you saw down in the fourth quarter, he's waving out of the game.
He's worn out. He's tired.
He's waving out in one of the most crucial series that we need. And you could say what you want. Zeke does it too, I guess. But maybe it's just I noticed it. But I feel like I got to defend Zeke for why. I mean, you need them
Uh,
both. And then, oh, well, look, you got the other
you
guy.
know, our fan
Smith.
base is full of so
Or,
much hate for everybody.
it's like, if you like Dak, then you don't like, then it's anti. It's either Dak or it's the offensive coordinator. Everybody's got their hand in it.
Yeah.
I stepped up and said, Dak needs to take ownership of throwing the ball over the middle of the field. I
Hmm.
said, I'm not blaming Dak, but that's the quarterback, and that, you know, did the receiver maybe run a wrong route or didn't like run the route right,
Hmm.
and that's the problem with these young guys. It's everybody's in on it, but the
Yeah.
fact that Kellen called the play, I don't hear a lot of kill this year. Do you? I don't
No, I
hear a
don't.
lot of kill. I hear
Not
like
at all.
Dak, running what's called. And if everything's ran perfect, but Dalton Schultz, I mean, that's the only thing I will say. That was all on Dalton Schultz. He didn't run the route right. If he
Hmm.
does, it's called route combinations, and one sets up the other. If Dalton runs his route perfect, that he has plenty of room underneath. But
Right, and he didn't.
be that as it may, right?
Let me
That's the
shout
truth.
out the lovely ladies. I
Yeah.
see Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, JoJo?
What's up,
Uh oh.
JoJo?
Hold
Loyal
on.
cowboy. I am full of hate for Jerry
Wait a minute. I need to get.
and Stephen Jones and Kellen Moore. Um, Hate's a strong word. I'm just over it. It's time to win and shut up. I don't want to hear about your glory hole. I don't want to hear
All
about
right.
your cap.
Let me
That's the
try.
only thing I'll say about this
Yeah.
team. I mean,
Let me try this again. Angelica Baron. There we go. What's
hey,
up,
Angelica, how are
Angelica?
you?
And Sheila Neal. What's up, Sheila? Roland's review is in the house. What's up, Roland?
What's up, Stacy? How are you?
I learned something today. Was it you or was it prime time that was on the phone with Dell working on the
Wasn't me.
computer? Huh?
Wasn't me. It must have been Prime.
Okay. I've got like the service plan, and my computer's
Yeah,
been
me too.
having hiccups and stuff with it. When my power source died, they came out like 2 days later, put it in, boom, and so I called
I
them
got my
today,
thing right here. My
and
Dell.
I called them today, and they basically remote accessed and
Yeah,
went
that's what they
through
did to me. They
and
went
and
into my
basically told
computer.
me, he's like, oh. You have like a million updates that haven't been installed. I said, I thought those were automatic. He said, well, they can be set
No.
to be automatic.
Well, that's what happened to me, Mark. For whatever reason, everything I downloaded went onto my C drive, which is
Hmm.
basically it's just your small drive. It's like when you like me, my wife, and my three boys, they
Yeah.
all had their own account,
Mark
so
Hutton.
that all goes on the C drive.
Uh huh.
Anyway, long story short, now anything I download goes to my D drive. I got 2 terabyte of space. I got plenty of space, but
Right,
it
but it was
wasn't
all going
allowing
to
my
that one
computer
place
to.
and used all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't allowing any of the updates, like you just said, to take. Every time I tried to do it, it wouldn't allow it. So
Yeah. So,
I fixed it. So yeah,
well,
it's amazing, and then how they can
for
virtually.
about an hour there, all I had to do was every time it rebooted, I had to go ahead and log in back, log in so
Yeah,
that way they could go through it. But so far, so good. We'll find out on here on the stream if it does. And I see Primetime Phil is here.
yeah. I just texted him a little while ago. Told him I was
Do
on.
we believe that maybe this past week was just a bad game, or do we think that this team
Um,
all of a sudden is going?
Defensively, no. And it's not our defensive tackles. So if anybody is saying, "Oh, well," I mean, I didn't know where Hankins was. He wasn't in the game very much,
Hmm.
but it wasn't the tackle. Again, I keep saying it. It's our ends. It's Lawrence Armstrong. It's our main guy. Yeah, D Law. Whoever's in on the ends, they're just getting collapsed. Why do you think all of a sudden we went and got Dak? Was not Dak, Tack McKinley. He
Hmm.
plays end, but
Yeah.
one thing he does is he holds the end. He doesn't collapse inside to
Right.
try and make a big play.
And then you got Micah Parsons, who only played
What's
9
up,
D
Thomas
line
Garrett? How
snaps.
are you?
Jerry Jones, of course, was trying to defend that today. Oh, and Micah Parsons, he's a playmaker anywhere he goes and stuff. It's like, yeah. But I would rather have him getting to Aaron Rodgers and collapsing the pocket than having him trying to chase down.
Well, he's getting antsy, and what they're doing is they're all trying to be individual players. It's just the last couple of weeks, it hasn't been a season long thing. They're still a very highly rated defense, but they're all trying to make a play, and they're getting out of their gaps. How many times did you see Michael Parsons loop way inside and try
and you wonder if he's nicked up and can't change direction?
I just think he's frustrated, and he's not getting to the quarterback. I'm sure he's nicked. They're all nicked, but he was limping the one time, but. They're just not playing scheme defense. They're trying to all be, trying to make a big play, and they just need to get back to the basics: running up the field, filling the gaps. All right, let's see what's going on here.
All right. So
there's a good run,
a real good run. They got second down and 1. Back to Twitter here for a second, as we literally are watching it burn down. This is a report. I know of 6 critical systems, like serving tweet levels of critical, which no longer have any engineers. The former employee said there is no longer even a skeleton crew maintaining the system. It will continue to coast until it runs into something, and then it will stop. Wow. It's hard to believe anything on Twitter these days, but I have to believe that if everybody's done walked out and Elon Musk is the one that's got to fix it, I don't know how long it's going to be there. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I can't imagine that he would let it, but I know. We shall see. This has all come on quick, so I know he took over. It's all political, if you ask me. So that's everything's based in politics.
Just reading some of these tweets are hilarious right now. Wow. He paid $44 billion for Twitter a week ago. It's currently worth $8 billion. Damn, what a suave businessman. That is nice. Is that with you probably can't really see the detail on it until we get it painted.
You know which one.
But Micah Parsons there. Oh man. All right, I can't wait to paint that one.
I don't know who number 24 is, but
okay, cool beans. We're still playing around with the system.
Did you see what was in his hand?
The football. Yeah, this is after the this is okay. Actually, turn it this way.
You can see the numbers on it.
Yeah, this is after he made the touchdown.
You can see the numbers on it.
In better days. In better days.
Well, 2 games ago.
That was better. Things change fast, okay? A month ago, Twitter was fine. And right now, the motherfucker's burning down, okay? Things change quickly now in the world. It's not like when I was a kid. But, yeah, that looks great, Mike. How long did that one take? 4 hours? Damn. Elon Musk isn't dumb. He'll fix it. Okay, maybe. Maybe, we'll see. All right, so Green Bay finally getting to move a little bit. Randall Cobb is actually back.
Everybody running their mouth about the Eagles are the best team again because they got 2 defensive tackles.
You know what?
One who's 34 who can't get it.
And the other one's 35.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah, that's where, Philly 500 is going, we've got Howie Vision again. He's trying to get the confetti this year. That's like, okay, all right, we'll see.
Did you see A.J. Brown's quote about, he was complaining because this loss is not a bad thing. Now we can stop all the stupid nonsense about going undefeated. Wow.
Yeah, okay.
And like your team was acting like you guys couldn't be beat. So when you lost to a Commander team, yeah, they're playing better, but let's not mistake the Commanders for the.
Well, here's the thing about the Commander. I mean, they've got the Texans this week. They could all of a sudden be up to 6-5.
Yeah,
and make some. And quite frankly, here it is. The Eagles need to be scared of the division right now. You still got to play the Giants and us again.
Yeah, I know. That's what goes. I don't like looking back, but that's what like annoys me about our loss. We gave that away. Sorry, we
Okay, Carl
we would
Withington.
be one back.
Here's what I want to say. This is the same thing. $40 million for an above-average quarterback. Have you seen how much Kyler Murray's getting paid?
Yeah, wait to see what the
Okay, have you seen what Deshaun Watson has played in 2 years is getting paid? I hate to tell you, Dak is getting paid about the average quarterback salary right now. All these people. I'm sorry, I get
and it's
sick
only
of this
gonna
shit.
look better.
Not to blow off on you or anything like that, but I get sick of all these people talking about how much Dak Prescott is getting paid when there are a lot of guys that have done a lot less than him that are getting paid even more. Anybody say anything about what Russell Wilson is doing these days? And I don't want to hear this shit that, well, he won a Super Bowl. Did he really win the Super Bowl? Or was it that team that won a Super Bowl that had the number one rated defense in scoring, yardage, and taking the football away, and a Marshawn Lynch that was gaining 1,380 yards? What has that guy done with all the money he's gotten the last 5 years?
Don't forget.
Think about this. We lost a game. We scored 28 points.
Right. 28 points, right. And yes, there were 2 interceptions in there, one of which may have been Dak, the other one might not have been. And you end up throwing the ball 46 times against a team that can't stop the run. You got a defense that gave up over 200 yards. And the only person you're looking at is talking about the quarterback being overpaid? Right. Come on, man.
Like, we were giving up what? Like, we need to get back to giving up 17 points a game. If we can get back to that, then even with an errant pass or, not a perfect game or a misran route, or we can overcome that stuff. But, when we're giving up 31 points.
I'm just curious. Here's what I want to know. And I don't mean to be pissed off tonight, but, sometimes you hear so much stupid shit that at some point you just say enough is enough. Okay? All this stuff. Well, we should have put Cooper Rush in. We never scored 28 points with Cooper Rush. The defense didn't give up over 20 points except against the Eagles.
I don't pay no attention.
And he had 3 interceptions against the Eagles. 3. Now, Kirk Cousins had 2 interceptions against Buffalo and 1 TD. Nobody says that. Here we have Josh Allen throw an interception in overtime in the end zone. Ain't nobody saying anything, and Josh Allen, sucked it up. Well, come on. If you want to say the quarterback lost the game, you can definitely look and say he lost the game with that shitty pass in overtime, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Ain't nobody saying Josh Allen threw. They lost to the Jets. They lost to Miami in their division. They lost to Minnesota. They had the exact same record, and they signed Von Miller. And here it is. We give up 200 yards on the ground. We throw the ball more than we should. We blow. Did Dak blow the 14-point lead? And all I see is, $40 million for, an average. I mean, $40 million is average now.
Quentin Cornett.
Come on, man.
Who that?
And speaking of Carl, here's the thing that's crazy. That $40 million in 2 years is going to be a bargain. You realize that the NFL, and this is where it's scary to me, is the NFL is getting $2.3 billion a year just from gambling royalties. They don't have to do shit. They don't have to do shit to get a dime of that. That's the bookies just saying, here's your cut.
Yeah.
Okay? That is the same as what they make at gate receipts of having to run stadiums. All that money is going to be going on the cap. They still don't know who's going to do Sunday Ticket next year because they're still battling it out for who's going to pay the most amount of money for that.
Yeah, I just saw an article saying there's still a bunch of companies in the middle.
At the $3 billion, that's $20 billion a team just for that deal, additional money. So this whole thing about money, that's bullshit. We went into the season before we even talked about Dak Prescott. We went into the season, and what did we say? We sucked for our wide receivers. We have a terrible wide receiver core, right?
Yeah.
We ended up letting go Randy Gregory. We ended up letting go offensive linemen. Everybody said, we don't have any talent. Now, all of a sudden, the quarterback sucks. When we look around, do you think we got one of the top wide receiving cores out there?
No.
I mean, look, you've got CeeDee Lamb, who is really, he's played better with Dak.
Yeah, yeah.
In the 3 games since he's been back with Dak, he's got about 296 yards, 3 TDs, and like 14 first down. Apparently, he does better with Dak than he did with Cooper Rush. Mark Hutton. We've been giving up 150 yards since Parsons was hurt. Exactly.
Something's going on with him. It has to be. But
Yeah, and they're not putting it out there. But he's definitely not the same guy.
He looks miserable, and I know he always does, but he looks more so lately on the sidelines. Like, dude,
Yeah.
I don't, if you're hurt that bad, I know we need.
I think he's a warrior, and he just does not want to stop. And he knows how important he is to the team.
Look at the schedule. Look, it's getting more and more like, okay, we can't keep looking at the schedule because, like you said, you got Washington winning, Giants aren't going anywhere, and then the Eagles, they only have 1 loss, and their schedule's cake. So it gets harder a little bit, but still.
Well,
we're already 2 behind them going into Minnesota. So I look at it, we're 1 behind them because we play them head to head, but still, you know what I mean.
I think actually maybe you're Frank. Shout out to Frank. What are the odds of Dallas landing Odell Beckham? Still, Frank. It seemed like
I don't know.
Jerry Jones has talked a good game about wanting him and stuff, but money talks and BS walks.
Sounds like to me that there's a verbal deal in place based on his health report, and they're just waiting for him to come in and take his physicals.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like to me. You don't have Catboy and Jerry talking. Jerry will, but Catboy, everybody. You don't have people talking the way they are unless something's going on.
Yeah,
he's Dallas' first choice, but you can't just sign him because you want to make everybody happy. The man's not healthy, and he's behind where Gallup was.
Yeah, and Gallup.
I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying be careful how much you give long term.
Miss Hot Sauce Lola, what's up? Well, I don't think anybody's going to give Odell $20 million. I'll be honest with you, and I don't see teams going to say, we're going to give you a long-term deal, $20 million. You're not getting a $60 million deal. Sorry. So the question is, what will he actually accept? I see my man Prime Time. What's up, Prime Time, up in the house?
Yeah, sorry, man. I've been sucked into work and stuff.
Oh well, go ahead. Just hang out, and when you got time, pop through. What are you working for Twitter or anything?
What's that?
Yeah.
No,
Are you working?
Anybody working for Twitter?
Apparently, nobody's working at Twitter right now. Sounds like we're watching Twitter literally burn down. I wonder if that means that YouTube will get a boost or something or something. So we are. Here's where I think maybe we're losing the whole picture here. Winning the division, you still have a chance, but at the moment, I think what we need to start looking at is trying to get the team ready to be the best team it can be at the end of the season. Whether we win the division, whether we get a bye, what we need to do is make sure we're ready to play in playoffs.
Right.
Okay? We got 6 wins, right? The only way we don't make the playoffs is if we basically lose out. Because, it would be pretty hard. I mean, we know Green Bay is playing
12. I think 11 will get you in.
I think 11 will great.
Seed.
So,
but I want to get to 12. That's 6 more wins out of how many games?
That's 5-3 going down the stretch here.
Yeah,
okay,
it's not bad.
But the main thing is and even with Zeke Elliott playing Zeke, he's going to wear a knee brace and stuff. We need Zeke as much as people trash Zeke and say Tony Pollard needs to be the featured back. Like you pointed out, he's only good for so many plays, and he's more effective when he's fresh. If you try and run him 20, 25 plays, he's going to be burned out.
And we talked about this on Monday night. It's not so much, he may have a good game, but then it's the next game.
Yeah.
And then they're playing the running back position, that there's a reason why not many people go with a one running back, it's always a combo because it's bigger, faster, stronger, and this is not easy. Your body's not meant to bounce back in the time frame that we're bouncing back to play another game, let alone Thursday night games. You throw that in the mix, and then we start coming down the stretch where we're playing Saturday night games. We're playing Saturday games. It's you need two, you need three for crying out loud, but you need two bell cows.
Well,
So
until they change the amount of games and all that stuff, that's where you're going to see records like Emmett Smith's hard to be broken because you're going to be sharing a lot of the load.
Yeah. Nice to open field tackle. Damn. And we still have an idiot for an offensive coordinator and an offensive philosophy. We know that Mike McCarthy at Green Bay wasn't crazy about running the football. He loves to pass the football. We know Kellen Moore loves to pass the football. But the thing is running does so many good things for you. If I go to Tony Romo's stats right now, this is what's crazy. Let me go here real quick. In 2012, Tony Romo threw for 4,903 yards, and we went 8-8. Right? Had 28 touchdowns. You say, man, that's a lot of yards, man. He's really doing it up. 28 TDs, that's not a bad season. But he had 19 interceptions, had a 65.6% completion percentage, and 7.6 yards per completion. 2014, 2 years later, when we had DeMarco Murray, who rushed for like 1,800 yards, where we were balanced as an offense, his passing yardage dropped by 1,200 yards to 3,700, right? And you'd say, well, damn, that's not very good, is it? Well, here's what's interesting. His completion percentage went up by over 4%. His touchdowns went up by 3. He got 3 more touchdown passes and had 10 less interceptions and averaged 0.9 yards more per completion.
right.
He was more effective passing less. That was statistically his best year in his career. And why? Because they ran the football and were balanced. You can look at Troy Aikman, with Emmett Smith, the all-time leading rusher. They were balanced. When we didn't rush for 100 yards, we weren't winning those games. You can go back to Roger Staubach. Tony Dorsett, great running attack. I don't know why it is that we have smart people that just say, let's throw the rock 40 times, 45 times, 46 times.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. People are like, well, you ran the ball a total of 30 times. Okay, you should have ran it 34, 35 times. Just look at the outcome of the game. Sorry.
When you're averaging 6 yards a carry.
My main problem, I'm trying to move on, but my main problem was McCarthy saying, well, we knew on second down that if we got to fourth, we were going forward at the end. We weren't kicking the field goal. Okay, it was 3rd and 4. You couldn't have, since you already knew that you were running football. You were going for it on 4th down. You're averaging over 5 yards a carry. Why aren't we running the ball on 3rd down, knowing that we're going for it on 4th down instead of throw 4th and 6 or whatever, or 4th and 4, 4.5 is a lot harder throwing than if it was 4th and 1, 4th and 2. I don't understand why we didn't run the ball.
Because when Kellen Moore plays Madden, it always works.
Yeah.
So.
Is that what it is? It's
hot route.
Do we need to put in his clause a Kyler Murray clause?
Yeah, that's good.
That you can't play Madden?
That's why my main.
That's what they should put in Kellen Moore's contract, is that he has to play Madden.
Yeah. My main problem with the deal was the play calling. I understand we scored X amount of points. I understand the defense, but okay, at the end, the games are won and lost at the end of a game. Most games come down to the end, especially when you get to the playoffs. Not everything is a blowout. So it's what you do at the end of a game. And running the ball not only helps you in that area. It also hurts the defense in the same, you know, it's almost like you're giving a defense a break by passing the ball. If you run the ball right at
Yeah.
him with a guy like Zeke,
I mean, we couldn't stop
it's
the run, but I
punishing.
think the turnovers definitely killed us right there.
Well, the ones in
Turnovers
the red
hurt,
zone,
but you righted the ship at halftime and got it 14-14. You righted the ship and you were up 28-14 in the fourth quarter. At that point, those two interceptions weren't really a factor. You had the lead. That's when you say, we need to try and run out the clock and use the offensive line. This is the same thing as the Matt Flynn game, guys. When we played Matt Flynn in the Green Bay Packers, we're up 26-3. 26-3 in the starting the second half, and we threw the ball more than Green Bay trying to catch up.
yeah, I don't get it.
It's the same problems as in stopping the run. When have we ever been able to stop the run? We have never been able to stop the run. So I'm just mystified right now. It's kind of like we have the same problems all the time and don't seem to find a solution to it. I don't know if it's scheme or if it's personnel on the stopping the run. I believe that part of the thing that you give up.
Scheme, Mark. It's scheme. It's not personnel.
Well, when your thing is we're going to get the quarterback off the block in 2.5 seconds, that means everybody is going upfield quickly, and that will leave seams. And then that means like Micah Parsons is running upfield, he's got to stop and change direction to try and get back into the play.
Yeah.
And to me, that leads to more running. But it seems like, and I need to ask Roz this, that running the football is become really good again. And I wonder if that is because you are having faster, smaller guys on the defensive fronts, that when it comes to running, they're getting pounded and pushed out the way.
But our issue's not up in the middle. They're all going inside and running to the outside.
Yeah.
Everything is running.
That's linebackers then.
Our cornerbacks do not want to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have cornerbacks who tackle well, or not well, but don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's our main problem, and we're playing a lot of nickel, so we're taking a linebacker off the field and putting a defensive back in a linebacker spot. It works. It was working earlier in the year, but now teams are going after that. Like I was telling Phil, we're playing a lot of nickel.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do against a nickel? You run the ball. Right. So that's what we're running into. It's a copycat league. Other teams are going to see that. It's already happened. Now it's how we now counteract that. The good thing is we have the bodies inside. So that's encouraging.
Yeah.
We have the big guys inside. That's the hard part. Now it's about getting our
Hello, Mary Lon and Aisha Robinson. What's up?
That's what I see.
What's up, James Snyder? James Washington. Well, the James Washington.
There we go, Mark. Go ahead.
The unicorn.
Yeah.
the guy we always talk about, but we never see. Probably he will be a practice window starting after Thanksgiving. Yesterday's practice was basically a walkthrough, so they look at it and say, you're not really going to be practicing until after we get through all of this stuff. And that may be when Tyron Smith's practice window starts as well. He's been sitting in on meetings. He's been working out on the bands, and it sounds like he is getting closer and closer to starting. Run the damn ball. Yeah. Interestingly enough, it seems like Tyler Smith is coming back down to earth a little bit. He's having a few more errors and things as a rookie. Still not a Chaz Green by any stretch of imagination. But would you believe that the Cowboys are running 6.1 yards to the left side?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just sitting here mystified at
Tyler Smith at all.
I'm mystified here why we don't run more. Yeah, it could be the rookie wall, and hopefully, James Snyder. Actually, I got the man right here. We'll check on you, James, on your stuff. I'll email you in the morning because I've been just like running like a crazy man. I still think they should run some fly wheel routes with Turpin. Turpin, that's another guy that you're surprised that they don't use much. Especially,
Yeah.
it's not like we have tons of great wide receivers and you
That
don't
was
want to get them
another
off the
pet
field.
peeve. Tell him, Phil. I was going off about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, just
they bring him in at the end of the game when we need a desperation play. What does the defense do? They call a timeout because they're like, "Holy shit, we got a guy that's a
That's
speedster
fast. Yeah.
that's fast that we have to account for. We can't do that twice a half. I'm not asking for him to have 9 plays a game, but we can't have him
Why
come in
not?
like 3 times. That's all I'm saying.
Are you saying that you'd rather have Jalen Tolbert in?
That's what they're saying. So we can line up a yard.
Are you saying that you'd rather have, Noah Brown in who's been injured?
Yeah, no. You know my feeling on Noah.
Smoke 14, yeah. Mark, KM, that is all you needed. Oh, Kevin Moore. Yeah.
Kellen Moore, yeah.
Smoke 14, yeah. Yeah, Kellen Moore.
And listen, I know, like, people, especially non-Cowboy fans, but do we really care what they think? At the end of the day, we got to worry about us. That's my main problem. It's almost like dysfunctional offense. It's working, but then we do things
that make no sense.
Counterintuitive to what is working, and then we're behind the sticks. The worst thing you can do in this league is be behind the sticks. Third and long, second and long. That's a recipe for failure. So, now don't get me wrong. The Zebras had a lot to say about that game the other night. I'm not going to say that's why we lost, but if, like Mark said, we overcame the the halftime score, took a 14-point lead. So okay, you kind of have to say, okay, those turnovers are behind us. As much as I don't like the red zone turnovers, we've already established we were able to come back from it. It was what did we do from that point on, and that's where I blame Kellen Moore.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that
Reaper, yeah. Noah Brown was playing like a number one at the beginning of the year. Well, this was primetime Phil on our show. He had said it, and he was right. He said that him and the backup quarterback, that's all that they practiced, all the time. So there was no surprise that him and Cooper Rush would have a great relationship because that's their main practice partner. So
kind of like what you see with Dak and Schultz.
Yeah, except the other night. But yeah.
Well, anytime you really need them, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So that's why Noah Brown is a good third, fourth receiver,
right?
Number 2. That's it.
As far as I'm sorry, Ruben. As far as Tank goes, he said, he's got literally surgically repaired foot, which has got screws in it, but he says he feels like it's still fractured. And he's saying his foot is not as much an issue as it is his knee. As a football player, what those guys do to stay on the field, the pain and the punishment, the meds, the ice baths, the heating, the treatment and stuff, it's almost inhuman. We always look at it and say, oh, man, he's a pussy because he's not playing and stuff like that. Or, we get happy and excited about a great hit. But we don't realize that these are people. And that if you took a shot like that, your ass probably be in the hospital.
Years ago, I broke my 5th metatarsal, which is what he did. Now, obviously, I'm not a pro athlete, so I didn't get a screw. But there's no blood flow on the outside of your foot. On the outside of the foot there. Like almost halfway right in the middle of your foot, but on the outside. There's no blood flow there. So it takes forever for it to heal. It's a tiny bone that runs the length of your foot. I broke mine. That's why I try not to walk around barefoot too much because I still feel it to this day. I'll feel like, ooh, if I walk on it, I feel like it's going to crack again. Not that it will. It could. Now his is, he has screws in his. So it's not a good injury. They call it the True Jones fracture. Like a lot of NBA guys get it. And I was out of work for 3 months because of it. That was years ago. But, he got screws in it, but I got to imagine he feels it, especially after running and It's not like he's just walking or doing normal life. He's a pro athlete. It's got to be rough.
Well, I'm not ready. Tony Douglas, we're not going anywhere until we get a coach in here that know how to win. We haven't had one since Jimmy, and Jimmy's, of course, come out with this new book and stuff. And basically, when you start reading the book or getting excerpts from it, and you realize that he took care of the football operations on the field, and Jerry took care of maintaining the, business and trying to keep them from hemorrhaging, money. Until somebody, he asked somebody else what other GMs do, and they said, oh, they're in charge of player personnel. And that's when he all of a sudden was like, oh, that's my job, and decided to kind of fuck it all up.
Remember I said he walked into Jimmy's office, Jimmy Johnson's office, he said, I'm going to pay off the debt. And this was, Jimmy was only there, I think 5 years in total. You feel like it was longer, but it wasn't.
No. They built that thing in a hurry.
Yeah. And that was his main deal. He bought the team for what? How much was it? A mil?
No, it was like it was less than what Dak Prescott's contract was.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was like $100 million or something like that. But regardless, he paid it off, and it was almost like, okay, now we can start making money. And after they won that Super Bowl and Jimmy left, that's what they're doing. They're printing money.
They are. And, and maybe at some point he doesn't care about winning the games anymore.
He does, but he wants to win it while making money. and it's almost like the devil on your shoulder, It's like, he's being greedy. Sometimes you have to spend in order to be successful.
Yeah.
Little Cowboy, why couldn't we play like this?
Because people get up for us.
Yeah, Mark had always said it's a week-to-week league. I think it is because you could say, well, we beat Washington. Eagles lost to Washington. That means we're better than Eagles. It's not it's nice and all, but that's not how it works. It's like you had to know, coming off the emotional win, that Green Bay wasn't. I'm not saying they're not going to win this game, but they're not going to come out and dominate and be all. It's almost like they're playing ho hum right now. They're going through the motions kind of because they just beat America's team on national television.
Yeah, the old coach, all that. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, they had just lost 5 in a row. He has to show that he's still somewhat important before he drops back off again.
Yeah. Yep.
Or it's all meant for the Cowboys.
Limberman, hey, there he is, stranger. JJ wants to win in his own way.
I know, man.
He's the right person in his
the lack of moves is what really gets me sometimes.
Well, I'm all about staying under the cap. Don't get me wrong, but I think there's times when you have to identify when you have a team to win it all, and you have to go out and add those pieces. That's one thing I could say with the Eagles. They're going out and addressing immediate needs. Whether it works or not, there's no guarantee. There's never a guarantee. But they're addressing those needs because they see the landscape.
Yeah, and I think what it is like when you make those type of moves, it's like people are like, oh, what about the last year? Is he better than anybody else available? If he is, then it's a good move. Is he better than anybody that's replacing on your team? Then it's a good move, So, they need to replace some stuff, and that was a great move by them. I'm
not saying it's going to work. But,
no. But it's a good chance.
The fan base is energized.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Giving them those little bitty glimpses of hope. Not bringing Callaway and Kinley.
And I don't have any problem with. That's what I wanted to get to.
Kinley?
Hear the latest with the OBJ.
No,
the whole idea is if OBJ is signed and ready, it's all going to come down to his physical. Then they're holding off with James Washington. He's going to be out a few more weeks, which makes no sense to me. Either he's ready or he's not.
I think you need to get him. James Washington, if you're going to use him, the time is now or never. I mean, a couple more weeks. I mean, you figure next Thursday you play against the Giants. If he's not if you're not getting him in the practice window by the end of next week, then ain't no point in bringing him back in. You know, we're next game will be what, December?
Mark, did you see Gallup jogging on the last play? Smoke for you. Stack in the box.
Yeah. That's just one of those games we just need to forget, and just move on. We don't seem to be focused right now on Minnesota that we have this weekend. Tomorrow's already Friday. So we need to move past that game, the officials, and everything else, and just say, that's just a shit game. In the same way we had a shit game against Tampa Bay, we turned the page the next week against Cincinnati. And that's what we need to do this weekend is go out there in Minnesota and go ahead and get Kirk freaking Cousins and get a win. That's all we need to do right now is we just need to get a freaking win.
I told Phil, I said, this team just does not like prosperity. They don't like things easy. They don't want it easy. They want to take the hard road every time. It's like you're on a roll. You're up 14 points going into the fourth quarter. Instead of closing that out, it would only take a couple plays. Let's be honest. If that holding call wasn't called, game's over, we win. I'm sorry, but that's what it comes down to, a couple calls. But you don't. And you screw up the last drive, and you give Aaron Rodgers, and you have your breakdowns. We don't like prosperity. We do not like to blow up people out and step on their necks week in and week out. We love being in close games.
Yeah, well, of course, that's
Mike
more money.
Aldana at Mark Holmes. A hands-on owner doesn't know when to stay in their own lane. Yeah, I agree with that.
If you put speed outside, it stretches the field and makes running more efficient. And we're already very efficient at running the team. I agree. And that's where when we end up going into 12 and 13 personnel, you're basically stretching and creating more possible holes to run through. We split the Packers-Viking games. I'll feel better. I'll feel better, too.
If we split with the Packers and Vikings game, I'll feel better. Yeah, Hollywood, I told Phil that. I said going in, I had us splitting. So if we lose to the Packers, but yet win against the Vikings, then I'm all good. But, I'm not expecting us to go to Minnesota and win. Now, I'm not saying we're not. I'm just telling you in my head, this game's going to show me a lot about our team.
Yeah.
If we lose a heartbreaker by 3 or something, then we came to play because that's an offensive juggernaut we're going up against. That's just a fact.
And see, for those out there that are talking about, well, Dak sucks, this, that, and the other. Can you imagine if he had Justin Jefferson or Diggs as a receiver?
Jim Laws. What up, buddy?
You know what I'm saying? Those things aren't equal right there. Right now, we have a below-average receiving core. And I challenge anybody to change my mind. It's freezing in Cali. What's up, Dallas Cowboy girl? What's up? And there's Lucky Gardenia, too. What's up, Lucky? Everybody gets to beat up on the Cowboys.
It makes you wonder how much this offense how would it be if a guy like Cooper was still in there? I'm not saying him in general, but like a number one receiver that people can feed off of. Because, that wide receiver core they need a leader. And you're not seeing it right now.
Also, CD seems more like a finesse receiver. You think of somebody like a Dez or you think of somebody like a Michael Irvin who is a very physical presence that's going to go up and fight for the ball. I don't know that I see CD being able to be that guy that will fight for the ball and basically...
He was during training camps, like in the beginning part of his career, like he would see it a lot. Like he would go up, grab it with one hand, he would pull it. Yes, training camp.
Not this year in training camp he wasn't.
No. Did I say this year?
Whoa.
I said earlier in his career. But that when the season started, you didn't see any of that. And so that's where I was like, you kind of feels like, he has to kind of be open in order to really kind of get it. He's not going to, like he saw that. I'm just really baffled by that whole thing because, Michael Irvin explains how Obviously, he's supposed to go under, the safety compared to over the safety, all that, Um, but at the same time, you see he doesn't see the ball coming. But when he does, he doesn't seem to like use his body to jump up with his body. I mean, he
Right.
is a body catcher. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen him so many times. He has great hands, but he catches with his body, those deep ones. And so if you're going to do that, jump up there, put your body up there to go catch it. But you don't see it. And that's where the picks come. It's just, Dak is relying on CD to be kind of like Schultz is, and when Schultz, not saying Schultz is amazing, but there's times where Dak throws it into double, triple coverage because he realized that Schultz is going to actually go and grab it, and and he does for a lot of the times. I'm not saying he's amazing at it. I don't trust Schultz in that way, but CeeDee Lamb just doesn't have that. I'm not saying right now he won't develop it, but right now he just doesn't seem to have that whole. Oh, I'm going to go grab that ball. I think he's too worried about getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I want to see Dak, and he does it a lot. I don't know if you guys really. He does it a lot lately. It's almost like I want to throw this ball to this guy, regardless of how many guys are around him, and that's fine in a pinch down the stretch when you have to make a play. But in the course of a game, there's got to be other options, man, that are more because especially over the middle of the field. You're seeing a lot of balls being tipped. I mean, yeah, it's not Dak's fault, but it's scary throwing the ball over the middle of the field.
I think you really nailed it on the head though, Brian, when you were talking about how there's just the fact that you've given these receivers all these option routes.
Yeah, I don't like it.
And that's what's causing some of these turnovers as well, because it's
been going on for a couple of years too.
Was Schultz end zone thing? Was that an option route? Was he supposed to take his? Was he supposed to take his man away?
He was supposed to take his. Yeah, just like you have to say a certain depth. Just like when it works beautiful. It's worked for them this year. When you run your route at a good depth, it opens things underneath and vice versa. That's how it's done, and the Rams are the best at that. You see teams that play and their receivers are always open. Well, it's not because they're just so much better. They're schemed open, and it's just these double option routes. It's up to the quarterback and receiver to be on the same page, and if you're not, then stop calling the damn play.
Yeah, I don't see the connection with these receivers. Right. Like I don't see it as one of those, hey, how many receivers back in the day were Troy Aikman with Michael Irvin? Oh, you could turn off the lights and then he would hit that spot.
So annoyed at
9 out of 10
they
times.
were like boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
And you could just do it. You could close your eyes and just do it. You can't do any of that shit. He don't even know what route he's going to run. So you don't know. He can't throw it with confidence.
Yeah, but you know where this also goes from too? They don't practice anymore, guys.
Yeah, I agree.
You used to have off seasons, and you had quarterback school, then you had mini camps and all the stuff where you worked out, and then you had training camp where you actually end up having 2-a-day practices where you worked on getting onto the same page. You got 14 padded practices, and you've got walk-through scrimmages.
Yeah.
The only thing that prepares you for playing football is actually playing fucking football. Sorry, it's bullshit.
I agree with that. I do.
Yeah, I just don't like to play golf.
But how many times you see it though? Just like I did tell Phil on Monday, I said, I love CeeDee Lamb, and as you could see after last game, the dude is super talented.
Yeah,
but he has to get in his own head. I'm not saying this is reality, but he has to say, "I'm the only guy running a route. I need to be precise. I need to do my job on this play because the ball's coming to me." Sometimes it feels like in his mind he's not the first or second option. I don't know how that would be, but maybe he's not the first option. And he doesn't finish his route. Like he'll give up on the route. Not all the time, but you saw it happen the other night where Dak was like, "What the frig, dude? I'm throwing it to a spot." He has to have more confidence in himself that
my whole thing is
getting the ball.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy to run a route. It's hard.
It's not, but see, here's the thing, though, is you have people who watch every single. That's all. Well, your job is to break down every single play, and you can tell. I mean, just in the same way as as a defensive lineman, you look at how the guy is placing his hand on the field. You can tell if the knuckles are getting white, it's because he's putting more weight on the front of his hands, which generally means he is going to be run blocking as opposed to him being kind of, barely in the ground. He's setting up for pass blocking. You look at these little tendencies and things like that, and you can say he is going to be getting the ball because now you can see he's really pumped up. And you see him kind of relax and all that, that it's not going to him. All these little minutia things that we don't know, subtleties, all make a difference on what's going on. You need to be out there like every single play, you're going to get the ball, so that way they don't know what's coming at them. And that goes into coaching.
3-2-2. I'm more confident about beating the Vikings than I am the Giants on Thanksgiving Day. If we don't beat the Giants Thanksgiving Day, then there ain't no Christmas. Well, sorry.
Who the Giants play this week? I haven't even paid attention to.
Sure.
I know the Commanders play the Texans.
They play the Lions.
The Commanders play the Lions?
No.
The Giants play the Lions. Okay.
Yeah.
The Lions have actually been playing a little bit better.
Yeah,
They may be able to outscore the Giants. And the Eagles, let me see.
Eagles are playing. They have a
bye week. They're playing the Colts.
Yeah.
The Colts the Colts, with Jeff Saturday, and they're a little beat up on the defense.
Yeah.
They're a little beat up on the defense, and I'm not sure that all the moves that they made on, they're great headline pieces, and to me, a lot of the guys that they signed are guys that you remember what the great things that they did were, but don't necessarily look at where they are now. When we signed Jason Peters, we looked at the film from last year, said, okay, yeah, well, that wasn't that bad, but we remember all those games that we played against Jason Peters, and he's, shutting us down. But that's not the same player that we see anymore. Robert Quinn, for example, throughout his career, he'll have one explosive season and he'll follow it up with a shitty one. And then he'll have another explosive season, follow it up with another shitty one. And thus far on this season, it's keeping exactly with that. Last year he had 18 sacks, was an absolute beast. Between the Eagles and Rams, he's got 1 sack. And I'm not sure that he's going to turn that around with the Eagles the rest of the season. Lavelle Joseph? Anyone?
Yeah, right.
He's been out. He was out last year, wasn't he?
I think he played last
year. Did he play last year? Okay. And Ndamukong Suh, who's been out too. Nobody signed Ndamukong Suh. What does that tell you?
I know. Why is he available? If anybody available now ain't going to come in and save your season.
Right.
Mike O'Dana, I'll check that out, Mike. Thanks.
And those were majorly, signings because they said basically Fletcher Cox played, I think, 71 plays, and he's just spent. He can't go that way. He's just that old and that worn out, and that's where we've got to get somebody to help spell him.
Hargrave's the same way.
Yeah,
he's an older guy. That's one thing about the Eagles. That's why they drafted
Jordan Davis. Yeah,
Jordan Davis,
and he has made a difference on their running game.
Cox isn't. He's on the back end.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Graham will give you when I always say, when the game is on the line, he'll give you that play, but down in and down out, Brandon Graham.
There's Paula Bettis. What's up, Paula? Paula, you were talking to Tracy tonight, weren't you, about a shirt and things that she's designing for you and stuff? Mark, turn on Philly 5 String. He's clowning you. Why do I want to see him clown me?
I'm still on.
He always clowns me, but that's okay because you know what I can do? Commanders.
He's a backup, Glimmer, man. He's a backup right now. I think they came in, they were desperate, and he wasn't in the best of shape, and let's face it. I mean, he's 40 years old. Jason Peters.
2nd and 9, minute 52 left in the half.
He ain't
down 1. Titans
he ain't clowning me.
Hold there. At the 27.
Should pineapple go on pizza? That's his question.
We'll hand off to Henry.
Alrighty.
Henry trying to get outside, makes a move.
Okay.
I have my thoughts on that, but I'm not gonna.
I don't. All right.
You don't think
So
it should?
I'm not crazy about pineapple on pizza. Just not.
Yeah.
I tell you what. This is Mark Holmes being old now because I'm on a Facebook group or something or other that's like old people shit. You know, where we got the old black and white
Thought you
TVs.
were gonna say I was on my MySpace.
MySpace.
Ah,
No,
you got it.
no. But see, look, growing up, see, y'all don't understand that we used to have like 60-inch TVs, but it was like a wood cabinet with like about a 15-inch
I
TV.
remember.
That was
Dude, I grew up in the time.
okay, right? But it's like all these nostalgia things, like the Pioneer stereo sets.
Oh,
Where you had the whole rack of
Alpine.
all that stuff. Oh man!
Like Kenwood
And so they were doing like how
rack system.
Pizza Hut was like gourmet food.
Oh, I used to love
man,
it.
they had like the salad bar. And they come out with that piping hot pan pizza. And so when I was in Waynesboro the other night, I was like, man, I want a pan pizza, man.
Yeah, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
No,
And
it's
I called to go ahead and pick it up because I was going to pick up a salad and stuff because they don't have a salad bar anymore. And it's like an answering center. And it's like, I'm not talking to the, no, we'll send a message to the, and so.
That used to be our Friday night thing growing up. We used to, with my parents, we'd go to Pizza Hut or we'd go to Ponderosa. Remember the Ponderosa?
Yes.
They were good with the salad bar. Those were the times.
But it was terrible.
Yeah, well, these kids nowadays think Domino's is all that. And it's like, man, it's not even real pizza. It's a shame. I mean, I have a lot of real good pizza places around me, but my kids like Domino's. I'm like, really? That shit's like cardboard with sauce on it.
All right, I'm actually trying a new feature here. I don't know if you guys know on this one for live streams, they have now questions and answers, and I hope I didn't mess it up. Selection question. My question: are the Cowboys going to turn around, or are they in free fall?
No free fall.
They're who we thought they were.
Disappointing loss, but they're not in a free fall. Not at all.
Well, if you listen to the talking heads, we're done.
Well, they've been saying, but they've been saying that
every single time.
They've been saying that since game one, and then we rattled off 5 in a row. So,
and after each loss, they'll say that.
Oh my God, my Cowboys!
Now I will tell you what. In Domino's Pizza, we used to have 4-star pizza at JMU, which was really good, 4-star. But our pizza place, Saratoga, has actually it's kind of a thin pizza, but it is really good.
I had it over your house.
Oh yeah, you had the Saratoga. Their sausage and pepperoni pizza is pretty good. But
I have a brick oven pizza on my place on my route. My buddy owns it. Man.
Robert Vega, shout out
touchdown, Titan.
To the new channel member.
They're running the ball.
It makes me sick. Robert
Running the ball.
Garcia. For all the new channel members, go to the community tab, and on there is a link for members only to the Thrive site, so that way we can get you your shot glass and other stuff depending on the level you are, and appreciate you guys becoming channel members. In fact, what I need to do is, and I'll try and get it done before Sunday, and I need to get back in touch with the command center about the tickets for the Commanders versus Cowboys game, a game that might be meaningful to both teams.
I've been saying that to you. You never know. You get to the last
I'm
game,
hoping that here's what I'm hoping is that it's not going to be as cold as it is right now.
Yeah.
It got cold like really fast. Now I do have
Flash Bruder. Breaking news: Cowboys to try out a paperclip.
Oh damn! All right. So we've got the Titans up 14-6 here against the Packers.
Running the ball.
Running the football.
That's a weird thing, man. I don't know how they came up with that. Maybe they watched our game and said, why did they stop? It looks cool to throw the ball. Yeah, I'm with you, Glimmer, man. We used to love Pizza Hut growing up, and it was weird because I was watching. It was a while ago. There's a thing on YouTube about the fall of Pizza Hut. It's starting to bounce back. But the whole thing was, like, do you remember when they changed their logo to this new ass,
Yeah.
weird looking thing, and
Mm-hmm.
everything that Pizza Hut did was just wrong. What made Pizza Hut good was everything that it was. You
Mm-hmm.
walked into any Pizza Hut around the country, they had the little stand up Pac-Man games for the kids. You had the salad bar. It was just the pan pizza that nobody had. I don't know why they got rid of it because it's not the same. Because I ordered one not too long ago. I'm like, this isn't what I had growing up.
Mhm.
Um,
I
and then
remember
they
Book It,
changed it.
where you would
Yeah,
read the books and then get a free
yeah,
pizza.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed their whole marketing plan, and they ended up claiming bankruptcy like a few years ago. Now
It's like
they're starting to come back, but it's not the same.
I was talking to the little one about enough. Yeah, oh
Oh,
my god, I
Sears is
remember
the same.
Sears. Oh my god, get
Sears and
everything at
Kmart
Sears.
teamed up, two losing organizations, figuring
I don't know
the
if you
two of
guys
us
had a
together.
James Way where you were, but we had a James Way
I remember James
growing up.
Way. Yeah.
James Way and Kmart were
Mm-hmm.
growing up.
And then there was like service
Walmart's
merchandise
blew
that
everything
came
out.
out. There was Montgomery Wards. There were a lot
Well,
of
do you know
different
what?
ones.
I was just in
Those came.
Australia. Like, do you know
Mm-hmm.
what they have in Australia? Woolworths. We don't have Woolworths anymore. We used to
Woolworth
have
and Woolco.
Woolworths back in the
Yeah,
day.
you sure did.
Strawbridge and Clothier,
That
Woolworths.
Kmart advertising later on came pretty funny. I don't know if you ever saw that when they're talking about shipping stuff. It's like that.
Yeah, that's
it's, it's like I just shipped my bed. He just like I just shipped. He did like I. She's like I just shipped my drawers, and he's like, you can just ship things around. He goes, I can
yeah,
ship my
ship
pants.
people, ship,
You can
ship,
Yep.
ship with a P.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
old guys. We're old.
Yeah, that shit was hilarious. And then
But I mean,
those other ones, big.
but they
They were
gave
like
up
big
and
gas prices too.
yeah, like Woolworths gave. Yeah, they just gave up in our country and they just said we're going. I guess that I don't know if they're an Australian company. I don't know, but they're in Australia.
Does anybody remember Richway? I don't remember Richway. I tell you what, I remember Heckinger's, which was kind of an East Coast thing. We had John Heckinger's with Harry and Harriet Homeowner, which was put out of business by Home Depot.
Yeah,
But yeah.
I remember Sam Goody.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Goody in the mall and Orange Julius.
Circuit City.
Circuit City.
Circuit
That's
City.
not
Wow.
that's not that old, but yes.
Eh,
Circuit City's been a
Circuit
while.
it's there. It's been a while.
I mean, Radio Shack lasted longer than Circuit
Radio
City, but
Shack.
Radio Shack, man, I miss Radio Shack because you could always get some electronic shit or
Yeah,
plugs for
expensive
something that
shit,
you needed,
but yeah,
man.
they were good.
Okay, Richway was a department store in North Carolina. We had Hex that were big around here. There used to be the Hex warehouse that was in D.C. that they now finally, after sitting vacant for like 30 years, converted into
Remember going to the
condos.
mall, they used to have the arcades.
They had, for example, like the place that I had gone to college, they still had the movie theater, the drive-in movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and
yeah, well,
I
we
was
have
like,
a couple near me.
I was like, hell yeah, those are very
Yeah.
rare.
They made a comeback during COVID.
Yeah.
We had a couple of them that
I have
actually popped
two,
up around here.
Actually, I have one near me now. The other one closed up, but it's nobody goes to it. It's more of a hey, I used to like the drive-in. Well, there's one right down the street. Oh yeah, I don't want.
Paula, where are you located that it's freezing right now? It's definitely cold here on the East Coast
I
here.
worked at Blockbuster and Sam Goody, which is crazy when I was younger.
Yeah, Tony Douglas. I think Orange Julius is only out on the West Coast. I think. But,
No, there used to be Orange Julius's, at least Northern Virginia.
We had A&W still over there.
Yeah,
as well.
we used to have A&Ws.
Yeah.
Oh, we had
I mean,
the
but
store
that's to say,
root
we still
beers.
had one. They still had the
Yes.
one, yeah. They were
Store
still the
root beer
burger
stand.
place.
And the Roy Rogers. We still actually have a Roy Rogers of Fort
They used to be on. I
Belvoir.
used to work at one when I was in high school on the Atlantic City Expressway. Now, like they were just
CC's, I
on
remember.
all
Oh,
the major-
Andrews, Smoke for you. You must be local. You remember Hogate? I tell you what.
Yeah.
Do you remember if you know about CC's over at Andrews, you probably remember Hogate's that used to be down on the waterfront in DC, which of course now is like
Cubes hamburger.
been redone down through there. We have an expected low of 17 tonight. Damn, Jim, where are you located? It's 32 in North Carolina. Okay. Well, I think it's just cold on the East Coast.
One
It's
that used to
supposed
be
to
here
be
used to be Checkers.
39 on Sunday with
We
like
had
20
one, but it
degrees the night
froze up.
before. So we're feeling like it's the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field here. Whataburger sounds good.
Yeah, man, all that shit's making we just started going on a kick right there.
Oh, man, all the
That's
good stuff.
interesting, Mike. Australian bars don't sell Foster's beer.
You get pissed if you even ask.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's one of those
Probably
things,
if you go to
yeah.
France, they don't sell French
I always thought
fries
it
either.
Boston,
It's like you talk
Australia.
to the Mexicans are like, yeah, they got Cinco de Mayo. They're like, what the hell's that?
Yeah, just like note to self: if you ever go over to London, don't ever like what's that wall that people like to kiss or whatever? Uh, Over in was it England or like Scotland or something or
Kissing a wall?
uh,
Okay.
yeah, like one of those walls over
Scotland
there.
Wall.
Yeah, I don't know which one. Come on, I'm having a brain fart chat, but but the locals say like don't ever kiss the wall because the locals pee on the wall at night.
Yeah, that's funny.
Barney
That's
Stone.
Kiss the wall.
Is it Barney Stone
Hilarious.
in Ireland's Barney Stone? Okay.
That's it. Yeah, kissing the Blarney Stone. I see. That's what
Okay.
happens. I'm all foggy from my nap, but yeah, that's it.
Okay. Can
Don't
you?
kiss the Blarney Stone.
It's still possible to kiss it post-COVID, but there are additional safety measures now in place to ensure it's sanitary for those wishing to visit and earn a gift of gab.
A little salty. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
A little salty. Oh, damn, that's just
That's
nasty. Okay. Packer will win 7 games this year. You know what? Okay, you know what? everybody that's like, you lost to the even the Packers lose this one. Guess what? Kansas City lost to the Colts.
Yeah.
Right? And that was before Jeff Saturday. You know, that kind of shit happens that people will lose again. I mean, I remember when the Cowboys' only win was against a playoff-headed Washington Redskin team. Anybody can beat you. And the difference, this is what's crazy. This is not like you're playing a Division III school. The difference between the Texans and good teams is not that far. They're literally a score away in almost every game. The same thing can be said about the Lions. Hell, the Lions scored 35 points against the Eagles. There really is not a lot of difference between these teams. The NFL has got exactly what they wanted. There is no juggernaut team.
Which is why I told Phil, and you made it, you said that tonight too, Mark, and I told Phil last week, I could give two craps whether the Eagles win or lose against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm glad they lost, but it's all about who's healthy and playing the best going into the playoffs. The end of story. You could have the best record. I don't care. I don't care. It's who's playing good going into the playoffs and who's the most healthy.
Mr. Easton, it's 28 degrees in New Mexico? Damn. In Farmington, Mexico? I don't know what the temperature's normally like there.
Yeah, well, I got people at work. Global warming. Everybody was joking about the 6 feet of snow in Buffalo.
Well, okay.
All as I said was not to get too political. I said it's the extremes that are the issue, whether it's heat or cold. But that's for another discussion.
They don't remember those 120 degree days in the desert in California this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
one snowstorm. There's no global warming. Okay.
Division games are a toss up in our division. Listen, Glimmer man, if anything is with us, I think that we own our division. Yeah, we lost to Philly. Let's not forget we had a backup quarterback, and we lost. We were within 3 points with 5 minutes to go. That's the bottom line. I'm not worried about Thanksgiving. I think we're going to beat the Giants. I just think I like us in our division. I think the Eagles are going to get too far out on us, but I'm not concerned with winning the division. I'm not. Who's playing good at the end of the year and who's healthy. That's it. I think that's all we could worry about. Look at the Niners last year. They were playing good at the end of the year. They got to the
And that was
right?
my point, that what we need to be focusing in on is trying to make sure we have as many healthy bodies for the end of the season. And so if Zeke is really not there, they're talking about him playing with the knee brace and stuff on it, then maybe you hold him out for another week.
Yeah, if it's that bad, why are we doing it?
Yeah.
Paul Bettis wants to know, I know what it is, but what's on the sub this weekend?
The sub. Well, I actually did an experiment. I'll post a video tomorrow. What Minnesota? Yes, it is. I talked to him this morning.
You're right, David Morris.
One of the things they're famous for is called a Lucy Juicy, or a Juicy Lucy, which is basically it's a burger with cheese inside the middle of it. Okay,
First time I ever came across one of those, I was like, oh my god, you got to wait till Juicy Lucy opens to.
Yeah. Oh, we see. No, but basically it's a burger with cheese in it. So I did some for dinner tonight where I put pepper jack cheese on it. So basically I've got to make like 20 of these and put them on a 3-foot sub.
Like, that was my field hockey name.
Juicy Lucy. Okay.
That's a weird.
That sounds like a Rick James song or something. Juicy Lucy. No. Juicy. Lucy.
We're losing our mind.
Yeah. You got to do it like this. Where they're like, coming to the stage.
Coming to the stage. We'd like to welcome
Juicy Lucy.
Let's give it a half for the now. You can never understand half the words they're saying.
Yeah.
Now let's welcome to the stage.
Juicy Lucy had the cheese in the middle of the patty. Limmerman.
Anytime I go north, I always go to Jack in the Box.
We're talking about burgers. Okay.
Jack in the Box. That's.
Oh yeah. Believe it or not, when I went to Hawaii, we ate at a Jack in the Box when we first got there.
Oh my God! Hold it. You remember? Oh no, you weren't with us. You were eating freaking steaks.
Yeah,
we went to a freaking Jack in the Box on the way back to the trailer place, and oh my God, it was awful.
You ain't a tainted glizzy or something.
Oh my God, the food was so bad. It took them forever to get it, and it was just like this is just terrible.
Maybe it just tasted better because I was eating it in Hawaii, so maybe that's
the scenery. Yeah,
it was nice. Yeah,
I tell you what, I learned in Hawaii because we went for it was one of the timeshare things, and you had to go to the presentation and stuff, but you got the discount on it.
Yeah.
So we're at the Hilton Hawaii Village, which was always like the building that they have, when they do Hawaii 5-0 and stuff. Yeah. In fact, they were filming the show in the lobby, and we had to wait. Yeah, and the place was great. It was great. And when I was there was when the Cowboys were playing Denver. That game that was like 51-48. And I'm watching that at like 10 o'clock in the morning, which was crazy. You wake up and you're watching football. The guy at the Hawaiian Village said, bartender, and he's like, look, I work here for Hilton. I love Hilton and everything else. He said, but get away from the Hilton Village. He said, if you really want to experience Hawaii, let me tell you where to go. Because like on the backside of the island, they have the shrimp trucks. Where they get the fresh shrimp. Okay, right?
That's where I went.
Also, and you keep on going on that side. You go by and you see where all these green turtles, they're endangered species, so you can't touch them. They're just rolling around in the surf and stuff. People are riding right past, and they got people watching like, do not touch the turtle. Turtles kind of like, hey, you can't touch me. So you see these big-ass turtles. I mean, they're like huge.
Mark, I had a park. We didn't stay at the Hilton Hawaii. We were staying down at Aulani, the Disney resort, way at the end out in the middle of nowhere, but it was nice.
Yeah.
But I think it was maybe a 45-minute drive back up to Hilton Hawaiian Village. I had a park like I'm almost a mile away or half a mile away at a parking garage and walk in, and we spent the whole day there. But it was very, very congested. I was in Hawaii when I was young. Like when I was a young kid, my father was stationed over there, and it was totally different when I was younger. It was open. There wasn't all that congestion like it is, man. It was.
It's truly resort. But here's what was crazy because like they had the luau They used to do it on the beach, but because so many people would wander into it, they started doing it on top of the parking garage. It's like, how are you going to have a luau on a parking garage? And so he told us about Sunset Beach, where they have like a real luau, and it was gorgeous. And he said, look, because, you go to McDonald's and you got 2 sausage and egg McMuffin meals, it was like $20. Everything is expensive. Yeah. He told us, if you ever go to Oahu, go to Side Street Cafe. And it was crazy. So we went there, and my wife saw, she's like, I'm going to order pork chops. And I was like, you know what? I think I want fried rice and something else. And the guy said, well, look, he said, how about this? Just get an order of the pork chops because it comes with fried rice. And he said, trust me, it's a lot of food.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at me, bro. I said, look at me. I can eat. He said, if you want more, we can bring you more. But trust me. They came out, it was like 6 pork chops. I mean, the plate was like this big. It was like 6 pork chops on top of this big plate of fried rice.
You ordered the sliders, huh?
Oh, my God. They were the best pork chops I had ever had. I mean, we ended up taking them back and, having the next morning for breakfast and stuff. But it was like $24 for the whole meal, whereas we were getting like 2 sausage and egg McMuffins. It was like $20.
Yeah.
And there was a burger place he told us. I can't remember the name of it, but their burgers, they always put the fried egg on them and everything else. I'm not crazy about the fried egg. And then, of course, there's spam on everything. Anyway.
It was
we're talking about everything but football here.
Well, it's halftime, man. Come on.
Phil, his wife said hello. Ivory said his wife
Mary
said,
Alvarez. Hey, Mary. How are you?
Mary.
Is Ivory talking
How you doing,
to me?
Mary?
What would he say?
Jim Law was a Mac at 16. That's what's up. Did you score with her that night? Okay. Fried rice will fill you up, and that's a lot of pork. It was an incredible place, but the food was really cool. I mean, it was a bar and restaurant. It was just really nice. It was truly felt like Hawaii.
I said, hey.
So I'm like, is it be?
Yeah.
Goodish. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please?
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger.
Oh, man.
Boobies. Remember Boobies from Clerks?
Was it? Yeah, they had the Dogma as well.
Mm-hmm.
Movie burgers.
Yeah.
Where they went to the place to cleanse it.
Yeah.
Because they were making a lot of fun of Disney. They're making fun of Disney. It was like,
I think one of the best things I did. We went to the Hawaii first for like 6 days, and it was like it's really it's more like the Garden State. It's very open, beautiful, very relaxing. But then we went to Oahu. We did the whole, Pearl Harbor and everything. But I think the best thing I did there was took time to do one of those tours where you download it onto your phone and it tells you where to turn and you just drive for hours. I had a whole day to do that. We did the North Shore. It was really neat.
If you cut across the island, you're going through the mountains and all that, through the rainforest
that's where
and
we
stuff.
were.
And it's crazy because you're going through it.
I have a video on my TikTok about us going through the mountains.
Actually, the thing I loved the most, which killed us, one morning I woke up and I said, you know what? I want to go to the top of Diamond Head and see the sunrise.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
And my wife was like, and I figured I'll just go do that because I know she's not, it's like 1,600 foot elevation.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I want to go. And I'm like, are you sure about that? I was like, it's like a mountain that we're climbing. And it's like, yeah.
Through Diamond Head.
And I don't know if you guys have done it, but it's literally a rock that they carved out.
Climb it.
It basically was a sighting area for World War II. Yeah. So there's 2 sections where they've got like 99 steps that just go right carved into the rocks. There's no stopping. It's just 99 steps. And we started walking this, and I'm sitting here like, this shit is hard. And only maybe a third of the way up, and my wife is, she's tired, she's sitting down. I'm like, well, honey, if it's too much, I'll sacrifice and we don't have to do this, right? Because I'm thinking, I can't do this shit.
Don't want to pitch out.
And it was about this time, there was this Asian woman who had to be about 75 years old who was bent like a 90 degree because her back was jacked up. She comes and just blew right on up the mountain. We're looking at this old woman who was just taking this thing. She's literally
like
bent over like this, and she's like, shit, if she made it up here, I got to be able to make it up this mother humper. And we ended up doing it. But when you get up on top of there, and you actually get into where they actually cited where there's like these little slits where you actually could look out into the ocean because it was basically bomb-proof. Right. But you get up on the top of it, the view is just unbelievable. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life. But it's a hard hike. But to top that, when the Super Bowl was in Arizona, there's a Camelback Mountain.
Camel Toe Mountain? What?
Camelback Mountain. Which is, it's literally, it's a trail. It's 1,950 foot elevation. 1,950 foot lift. Ooh. Ran into Kurt Warner on the way up there. And actually, Joe Boo interviewed Kurt Warner about the Super Bowl.
Nice.
But this is literally like a bunch of boulders with signs that say it's a trail and it points up. And every time you look at it and you kind of say, oh, okay, I see the peak. No, it just kind of camelbacks on up there. Yeah. And it was hell to get up on top of this thing. But when you get up there, the view is incredible. I just about had a heart attack.
So it looks like Ivory and wife is Ashley's, their anniversary today. Congratulations, guys.
Happy anniversary.
How many years? That's awesome.
It's your anniversary. Happy anniversary. How many years has it been?
Yeah, Ivory, that's awesome. Congratulations, Ivory, Ashley, that's awesome.
How many years has it been?
That's what I'm curious.
I am going on 18 years.
Famous tacos.
Yeah, that's what she was talking about. She's getting some dinner, and I'm like, oh, what's for dinner?
Buck Skull Gang in the house. What's up? How are you doing? But I'm wrong for pointing out how bad the Packers really are. Okay, left. Well, you know what?
No. Well, Mike McCarthy was right though. They missed the extra point.
Yeah. Okay. So well, I tell you what.
He was right about what he said about going for it on fourth down because they missed the extra point.
Which was a worse loss? Which was a worse loss?
He was right.
Cowboys losing to Green Bay in Green Bay, or Eagles losing to Washington at home?
Worst loss, Eagles.
In the division at home.
Yeah, at home. Yes, absolutely.
Well, one made me kind of cry, and the other one made me happy. So I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, but it was one of those things like you felt like you were kissing your sister or something. Because I was rooting for the Commanders.
Yeah, you were playing their song, man. It was
that's why.
That's the only reason they won. Okay,
you're putting it out there. You're like, man, I'm gonna do it. I don't care.
We all needed that. Okay. What was funny was because people like Lola was like, play the song.
Yeah.
People that cussed me out before. It's like we're desperate, damn it. We want the Eagles to lose.
Play it again.
And so now Rio was tweeting out. He's like, damn it, this is our new anthem.
People falling asleep like. Quarterback,
where's the fucking song?
Just talking so much in his sleep.
Oh shit! It is growing on you. It is growing.
I wasn't going to root for either team. Just watch the train wreck. So
that's what we're asking you.
But I'm telling you, I knew that the Eagles were going to lose that game. I knew. I going in there. I told my dad. I said, I think that the Commanders are going to win that game.
Well, last year they almost lost.
And here's the thing.
Lost to COVID.
They put it out there. You got to be physical, and you got to run the football. That's exactly
why everybody's talking about the Dallas. They figured them out. What do you think is going to happen with Philly? That's what this team does. When one team is able to finally crack the code, they're like, spread the word. Spread the word. It's on film. You can't hide. It's on film. They haven't been able to stop the run all year. But teams get down and can't run. And they're talking a lot of crap on the Chicago Bears. They have to play Chicago yet. So
And the
I wanna
the
hear
Bears
what
are the
you
number one
have to
rushing team in
say.
football right now. They are
They are a
killing people.
physical team, and they don't care if they're down 14. As you saw against us, they're gonna run it still.
Yeah, I mean
So
everybody on that team runs. I mean the quarterback runs, the running backs runs, the wide receivers
The
run, the defense runs away from the tacklers. So I mean
And
it's
here's the
everything.
deal: when you
the
play the Bears,
Bears.
like you saw it with us,
Hmm.
even if you win the game, you limp out of that game, and then the effects are there going into the next game. That's how physical they are. That's an
Who got hurt?
estimate to that team.
So
Whether
Ivory
they
and them
do
have 2
anything,
years. Nice.
The Bears are averaging 201 yards a game on the ground, 5.6 yards per carry, and have already 2,017 yards on the season. The next closest is the Atlanta Falcons at 1,600. That's insane. And
JB wants to hear the song.
nah, we're not going to do it. To put that in perspective, the Eagles only have 1,284 yards running at 4.3 yards a carry.
Yeah.
So they're getting a yard and a half more per carry. That's insane. And we're right on the heels of the Eagles at 1,211 yards with 4.7 yards a carry. And that's where we need to understand that
Yeah.
right now, we're more effective running the football than passing the football.
Yeah.
We got to be closer to balance. We can't have an issue where we run the ball 30 and we pass it
What'll
46.
happen
This
is
is
you'll
what
have
the-
more success in
We're
the
better
end.
and we're better. You're better in drafted than we are free agents. It's something. It's one or the other, man. It's just never all together.
But the good teams know how to put it all together.
I will say that
You're not
we've
gonna
been
hit on every free
well
agent.
free agency. We've actually been effective with bottom basement ones.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
just makes
I
me
mean,
wonder if we would actually. Pay
If we actually,
ourselves.
if we took the same perspective of drafting
I do like
with
Aaron
bigger name players,
Oh, come on, Aaron.
Well, that
I
whole
think we would be.
Lawrence Armstrong,
What a
It kind
I
of
anti-
reminds
think
me.
he kind of fizzled out.
Well, it kind of reminds me of alcohol. I mean, it's cheap.
But see, Dorrance
It'll get you
Armstrong-
fucked up
When
later
they
on,
start
but
smiling,
it's not
As getting up off the
what you
field.
want to show people.
What a jerk.
here's what you got to realize is, as Micah Parsons goes,
Right.
everybody else goes.
It makes you wonder
But
how
I mean,
injured he is.
Von Miller, that's the one
Smile as a
move
dude
they should have
walking
found a
off
way
the
to try and get done.
Jerk.
Like
Another
I'll
guy
admit
gets
my
hurt.
Bobby Wagner thing was totally off. Like
Yeah, Bobby Wagner is
You over there smiling
yeah, I
at him.
wanted him, but I wasn't nuts
Walking
about
off the
him.
field.
I wanted Von Miller, but I wasn't going to pay that price. But maybe that's what we needed to do. Hey, listen, we still have fine. I'm just
I would take Bobby Wagner over Van Der Esch.
but I mean, if that's the case, why not go get Roquan Smith? He's a
Okay.
tackle
with the
machine.
price difference, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
price
Another
difference.
player hurt.
Bobby Wagner, 73 tackles, 3 sacks.
We're not be going over there smiling.
How about Roquan is a tackling machine? He would have been a perfect fit, and they only gave up a second round pick for Roquan Smith.
Yeah.
But
Great.
they had to resign.
And for the Cowboys, I'm not sure I wouldn't mind giving up second round picks because we usually don't do a whole
Exactly.
lot with them.
Yep. But he went to the Ravens, and he's going to make them better. So
Mm-hmm.
we are who we are at this point. There's nobody that you're really going to go out and get except an OBJ, and I think we're the front runner if he's healthy. If we don't get him, it's going to be because he's not ready to go. That's what
Mm-hmm.
that's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. So,
Yeah.
what do we got here in the chat? Kellen Moore, you got some splaining to do, yeah, right?
You got some explaining to do.
Lucy, got some splaining to do. Jim Laws.
Every time we want to run the ball, you trying to pass.
Tell me why we did not run after we were averaging 6 yards per carry. Yeah, Carl, I've been saying that. I said that on our live stream on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty fired up, but it felt good afterward getting it out. And I called it how I saw it. I named specific things where I thought they dropped the ball, and it's just
Well, there's enough
not
blame to
gonna-
go all the way around on the
It
field.
was like pinning the tail on the donkey. You can almost point anywhere.
Yeah.
It's such a team loss.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sugar daddy.
why are we giving free releases from speedy rookie wide receivers? That's the hardest thing they have to learn It's how to get off the line of scrimmage, get off the jam. Yet our defense, we're letting Watson, who hasn't done shit, get a free release off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
What are we doing there? That's a scheme thing. That's anything I could think of. Why are we doing it?
Well, I think we actually miss Jordan Lewis a lot more than people think. And even Kellen Joseph is not the answer.
He's not the answer.
Kellen Joseph is real.
We've come to realize that people go, "Oh my God, he's in the game! Throw!" It's always penalties.
And it's just like he cannot cover at all.
It's his technique. I think he has the potential, but he's not there yet.
I don't know. It just does not look good. All right, here we go. The Packers trying to get a field goal here. Keeping it close.
Oh, we had another punt fumble.
That's good.
They missed the extra point.
Who are you guys rooting for on this one? Are you hoping that Green Bay wins so that way it doesn't sting quite as bad for us?
No.
Or do you don't really care?
No, I want them to lose.
I could care less, but if you're gun to the head, let's go Titans.
Yeah, I mean,
if people talk shit on us regardless, I could care less whether they win and make us look good.
No, this is true. Doesn't matter what we do, we get.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So. Aaron Rodgers, he won the Super Bowl last week.
With Saturday night, what you guys got on tap for Saturday night?
What do you got? What do you got for us?
Oh, you're talking about the broadcast. I was like, I thought you were talking about let's party. I was like,
oh, shit. Listen, I'm too old to
what
party.
What are you talking about, man?
Firing up the G5. I'm heading down.
Okay, all right, we'll be here. We'll be partying inside because it's going to be really cold.
Yeah.
It's going to be really cold. 39 is going to be the high temperature.
Outside. Yeah. We're going to go over, like we always do. We're going to preview the Minnesota matchup. Do we know if that's the national game? Do we know that yet?
I know Washington Eagles and Giants are all at 1 o'clock, so it probably is. Romo's calling it. Yeah, I know, exactly. It's like, no.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Can't we just get away from the Cowboys quarterbacks calling these?
Yeah.
They're everywhere, though. That's the thing about being a Cowboys quarterback.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see here. What week is this?
I'm sitting here looking at the Pacquiao chip, and right beside the Pacquiao chip, you have Rowdy.
Yeah,
and,
Rowdy.
People always talk about, that Joe Boo's bad luck or this is bad luck. We haven't won a Super Bowl since we got
Jesus
Rowdy.
Christ.
Huh?
It was Rowdy's fault.
I'm just saying.
Is it your fault, Rowdy?
Rowdy's a little bitch.
No.
Oh, look, he's saying, yeah.
I mean, I've got a Rowdy pillow over here and stuff, and I love Rowdy every time I see him. I'm just saying, I'm not accusing him. I'm just saying.
All right. Let's see here.
Bad things, man. Bad. Oh, Lordy.
Juju.
Did we ever find out how many years it's been
Eagles
for
at 1
Ivy?
o'clock. So. Huh?
Did we ever find out how
2 years?
2 years. 2 years. That's it. Oh man.
Yeah, they're starting their journey. Very
2 years. Oh man. There's three. See, they're still in the early stages of that romance and stuff. 2 years. It's kind of like, honey. Oh, it's everywhere all the time and stuff, right? Then you kind of get into that next phase where it's kind of like, birthdays and holidays and special occasions and stuff. Right?
Yeah.
And then you finally get to that point where you've been married for a long time, and the only time you're getting it is when you pass each other in the hallway and you say "F you."
Yeah. Phil's not there yet.
No.
Oh boy, no. Actually, I'm not there either. For me, come January, it'll be 18 years.
Ooh, did he catch that?
He was wide open. Yes, he did.
I didn't get to see that yet.
18 years.
James Snyder, Mark, the game between Bills and Browns will be played in Detroit's arena the next 2 weeks.
I
Yeah.
heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, the Bills are in Detroit for 2 weeks. They're just going to stay there. That's going to suck. Of all cities, no offense to Detroit.
I tell you what, Detroit Stadium is nice.
It's cold though, Mark.
Not in the
Cold
stadium.
there.
It's cold out.
It's not cold in the stadium.
You ain't gonna stay there in the stadium for.
As opposed to being in Buffalo.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Buffalo. You gotta understand, Buffalo. It's always cold. You've got always that snow, lake effect snow that's coming off. David Puno, what's up, David? Long time no see, bro. How you doing?
Neil.
Not that I'm saying being in Detroit is a great thing, but it's no worse than being in Buffalo. And I don't know if you've ever been to Buffalo before.
I have not. I've been.
There's not much in Buffalo.
There he goes.
Go,
look, Henry.
Get 100 yards, baby. Get 100 yards for me, baby. Get 100 yards.
Titans are running the football.
The best runner in the NFL right now.
I've been through there, but not that. I've been.
Come on, Henry, give me 100 yards.
Maine and all there.
There's Niagara Falls.
Give me 100 yards, Henry.
And there's what's crazy is I tell you what, when we drove up there when we had to do a photo shoot, and you see Buffalo Stadium, it looks like a high school stadium because the majority of it is like
underground. Yeah.
And when we had to go down to the field, it's like this long ramp that carries you down. It's like way down in there.
Derrick Henry is like the most stiff running back I've ever seen.
I think the injuries have kind of started to build up on him. The punishment he's taken.
He's so good. He just has that stand-up Josh Cribbs type.
What's the matter, Aaron Rodgers? You won your Super Bowl last week. You were pointing to the sky, the gods.
Exactly. Why didn't we continue to run the football against them?
22 years. Good job.
Aaron Rodgers, come on now. You got what you wanted. You proved the point, right? That Mike McCarthy was the problem. That's the way you acted. To me, that was disrespectful. Maybe go out and win a game. Look at that. Look at that play. Take that, Aaron Rodgers. What's the matter?
Dwayne Sweeney says Kevin Joseph may end up like Tristan Hill, wasted second round pick and cut.
Draft pick out of it, man.
Yeah, he only had 2 good plays.
Yeah. At least we can say Diggs has been a good second round pick. And
Diggs.
And we can look and say that Sam Williams has some potential.
Even a blind.
But other than that, we've not done good with second round picks.
Yeah, that's been about it for a while.
5th round pick.
Make it, please.
Well, our third.
Thomas, what's up, Thomas? How you doing, Thomas?
Did he make it? Nope.
Off the uprights.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy was right.
What?
About the kick.
About the field?
Well, it's a lot colder tonight than it was.
Yeah, than it was on Sunday.
But he was right about the kick, though, because that's the second extra point that was missed.
Yeah, he should know, man.
It's cold.
I think we're ready to play Derrick Henry, he and his quarterback and running back. Or you don't think we're ready? Well, I don't want to. Right now, how about we worry about Justin Jefferson this week?
What about Cook this weekend? Davin Cook is running back.
Yeah. That offense is scary, man. It's scary.
Running back.
Two thrill for life. I blame Browdy for Cowboys woes.
Philadelphia is rooting for Dallas.
I blame Jerry not putting Jimmy in the Ring of Honor more.
Philadelphia. You guys are the best. You shouldn't have to worry about the Vikings or us. Come on now.
No, he's doing it more for playoff position. It makes sense.
No, but
he wants them to get knocked off.
They're the number one.
What he's saying is, I'm worried about my team losing some more games, so I want some extra cushion. I think what he's saying is, we know we're going to lose to you guys, and we don't own, and we're worried about the Vikings. That's what he's saying. Isn't that what he's saying?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, they want to see Tom Grassi. Justin Jefferson is ass, according to.
Oh, you nah.
We own Cousins.
And they still got the other guy that's kind of forgotten over there, Thielen.
Yeah,
Thielen. Yeah, right.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They're stacked. You got Jefferson, Thielen, Cooks, and Madison, who were both one and the same. Then you have Hawkinson. It's a scary thing on offense. second. And then the guy that we should have signed, they did sign the defensive end, is having a killer year for Minnesota. The guy that was in Green Bay.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, he's having a hell of a year with
Can't think of his name.
Minnesota. He wanted to play for Dallas, but we didn't want him. There was too much guaranteed money on the line.
Darius Smith, right?
Yeah, Smith. That's it. Ladarius Smith or something like that. Is Ryan Tannehill better than Dak? Yes, he has.
No, he didn't even go to the Baltimore and then backed out of the Baltimore deal, right? Was that him?
Yes, that's him. No, Mike Reyes. Tannehill is not better than Dak. It's a week-to-week league. Green Bay won their Super Bowl last week, so they weren't expected to come out and do anything tonight.
And they're running the ball.
They're sticking with the run.
Yeah, I mean, you got a big, huge running back there that's like a.
I don't think that they're running the ball any better than what we did. They're just sticking to it and playing off of the run, not saying, you know what, guys, we just ran down the field. Now we're going to have
Let's try
we're going to have a series where
we
drop back 7 yards and read the field all, and go throw an interception. That's what we're going to do.
This is the perfect time for you to practice that.
Stupid. I didn't see much 12 personnel either. 12, 13.
I just don't like how we just keep on picking up all these old, I'm going to say old, but the old Atlanta Falcons players,
Yeah, now we got.
And I understand why, and it's like, dude, trying to build your roster over here. Is that what you're in the defense?
It's on the practice squad. I actually like Callaway. Callaway has a lot of talent.
I like Kenley. Yeah, I like the signing.
We got Callaway from used to be with Cleveland, the wide receiver. Yeah, I like him.
I saw the pickup.
He's practice squad. What they're going to do is practice for 2 weeks and see if he's better than what we have already. You watch. We might cut one of our receivers. There it is. Dude, Randall Cobb must be healthy again.
Yeah, this is the first time he's played in weeks.
But yeah, so that's the deal. What do we got here?
All right. It doesn't look like the Packers are going to roll over and die just yet.
Derrick Henry, not that good running that high in the old days. Would have.
Yeah, he would have
got him killed. Everyone has lingerie woman shoulder pads.
Just looks like he skips leg day. I'm just saying.
If DeMarcus Lawrence can't go, we will need that help. Yeah, Callaway at the University of Florida. He had more off the field issues.
Yep.
He had some gambling
some issues. Yeah,
some stuff, but that was 6 years ago. He's a talent. He's worth a shot on the practice squad. He's real good on special teams. So I don't have a problem with that. We're always,
Come on, stop him.
Baby, it's cool.
3rd down and 3.
You guys can start getting me.
Sam Williams may also be able to stand up. I wonder if Quinn has experimented with that.
I know. At work the other day, somebody turned on.
No. There was something I did. It was some song. I'm like, oh, F no.
It's
all day, dude. All day we had Christmas music on. It was like, oh, man. It was nice,
you can feel it. You can feel it there when you first hear it. You're like, oh, it's not right. It's not ready yet, man.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna lie. I got my lights on my house. They're not turned on.
There you go. You're one of those. My birthday is this month. I'm always a little offended.
You know how cold it is out here now compared to it was last week? I was smart in doing so. Mark will tell you. It was beautiful last week. Yeah, this week.
Last week. Oh, man. It's just like it got cold.
Frozen tundra.
Yeah, it was. I think Saturday it was. Saturday I had to turn the AC on because it was 78 degrees. And then by Sunday it was like, damn, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I know.
It was crazy because it literally dropped 30 degrees. And it's kind of stayed cold most of the week. In fact, when I went to Waynesboro It rained like crazy on Tuesday. When I was talking to Roz, he said it was snowing in Pennsylvania where he was. And then yesterday morning, as I got up to go to the house, I'm seeing cars that were coming off of the mountain that were like covered with icicles and stuff. I was like, damn, it's definitely a time. I'm sure the wintergreen and stuff, the ski resort's going to start blowing snow for the ski resort soon now. That's getting freezing overnight.
Yep, the Poconos, Michael Anthony Fitness will be driving right by there.
Oh, yeah.
There's the guy
Touchdown.
Watson. We awoken a sleeping giant.
There you go.
Like.
So 4 touchdowns now. Is Anthony Barr playing? What's the word? His hamstring is supposed to be doing better. He's supposed to be playing.
He wanted to play.
I would imagine this would be the game he won.
Yeah.
He was 50-50 last week, and they rested him so he could play against his old squad.
He had that whole Jim Carrey, like, "Put me in, coach. I can win the game." Let's see that. An instant replay.
Oh, James Snyder. Oh, James, I'm glad you enjoyed that. I saw you and Mike in the workshop, and that was hilarious. Bringing out mothballs and eagles, the plane in the cemetery. Yeah, the cat cemetery and stuff. That was that's what I feel like that they're bringing out with Ndamukong Suh and Lavelle Joseph. It's like you're bringing old battleships out of mothballs, and putting them into action here.
To me, it's a sign of
I like it.
being a little bit desperate because they're not just. I mean, I guess you could say that with us with Peters, but Peters is literally a backup.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now, get in there.
Oh, they got 2 points.
Well, what it makes me wonder is, okay, you don't look at saying Ndamukong Suh is going to be a starter this week. I don't think. I think you need some time to ramp him up. But the question is Jordan Davis's ankle a lot worse where they think it's going to be several weeks before he gets out there? He went on IR with the high ankle sprain, but when you're 340 pounds, that's a whole lot that's going on that ankle. That ankle's got to be right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it may be that they're looking at that saying, maybe it's another month before he's going to get back on the field. And knowing that they got to play teams like the Bears and the Giants and, and us, that they need that run stopping now that the word is out that you can run on them.
Yeah.
Which the kind of thinking. And I'm not mad at the Eagles. In fact, I applaud them because.
A good move by them, man. Great move.
Yeah, no,
You know what? They make mistakes on free agencies and the draft and all that, but they move on and say, you know what? That's not going to stop us from trying.
It's a little bit.
Exactly. That's a good point. They don't try and prove their point by hanging on, playing somebody or.
Yeah, to say, we made the right call. Jerry Jones is going to, just like with Jason Garrett, I said he's going to be the next Tom Landry, and I'm going to go ahead and keep putting him out there till he becomes one. We did that for 10 years.
Like our backup receivers. Help me out, Phil, with the dude out of Stanford. What's his name?
Talking about Fehoko?
Yeah. All right. Is he good? Is he not good? Why can't he get on the field? And if he's not on the field, then what are we doing? Put him on practice squad. Put him on a practice squad, and if he's claimed, he's claimed. I mean, we're holding on to.
I would have rather put him on the practice squad than John Ridgway.
Yeah, exactly.
Amendola kind of reminds me of a little bit that he could be something maybe 4, 5, 6 years down the road, but
I know.
I don't see him.
No, the score's 2017. I'll blow it up a little bit for you.
It's not off to a good start. Tolbert.
But I mean, again, wide receivers. I don't know. I think it can be hit and miss.
Well, I saw a stat with him in college. I want to say his first, I forget, maybe like first 11 games of his college career, which is like a little over a year. It was horrible. And then he blew up. Maybe he's one of those guys where he needs to feel comfortable. He's a young kid too, amongst men in a professional setting. Maybe he needs an off season. Let's hope that's what it is.
Well, Sammy, this is his second year.
Tolbert? Oh, no.
Oh, Tolbert. Okay, I thought you were talking Sammy.
Yeah. No,
No. We're talking about Tolbert.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
I
happened
just-
with Tolbert. We were sold from
But if you look
day
at his
one in the
college,
draft
he
that
didn't do much
he's
his first 2 years in college. He blew up and then came out. So maybe the talent's there. We just need to get to it. Wow, nice return.
I don't know what happened with him because even seeing him at training camp, he looked like him and Dak
Right.
were working well together. Well, him and Peyton
Here we go.
Hendershot were both working really, really well
Let's
together.
get something to drink. You're
And-
killing me with the yawns.
I'm sorry. I got some coffee here, but I don't know what happened with him. But he literally dropped off the face of the earth. We
Yeah,
thought
he
that he was
did.
going to do something, and of course, where's Vasher? Vasher got cut at the end of training camp. Vasher had the one-handed catch and went downhill from there. He just was completely
One-handed
lost.
catch to one play. That was it.
And yeah, Semi, I don't know what happened with him. It's just like
He got injured. Somebody got injured.
our receiving core is just bad.
Somebody got hurt.
Yeah.
And Michael Gallup, he can't
I don't know.
separate right
I don't
now.
want to bash the guy too much. I don't know if he's still hurt or what.
I think he is still hurt. Okay,
know.
Here, think about this. It's normally this is actually when they thought he would actually be ready to start playing. He got out on the field a few weeks earlier than what is typical on this injury,
Unfortunately, this is what you would see with OBJ if you did have him. I mean,
which is true.
yeah. I mean,
But
would have to
you
try
have to at least. Here's the only thing you have to say though is Odell would be starting off with more experience and in a better place than where Michael Gallup was.
Yeah.
That his experience and things would end up helping a lot more than what Michael Gallup has.
Well,
even
let's
being
be
at say
honest.
70% or 80%. Mary,
Gallup-
what's up?
When
I like him,
Gallup
though.
is
I like him
100% healthy, he's a certain type of receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He
I like
he
him.
don't get a lot of balls. He gets the big balls. He gets the big balls. He catches, like the circus catches, third down catches. Seems like he's always catching that.
that toe
big
drag
time.
swag.
Yeah.
Mary,
Never. he
I'll
needs to
be
get that
cooking. I've got my sister-in-law and her kids are coming over. Tracy and my one of my daughters, I think Mike will probably go to his grandparents with his mother. So I'll probably have about 6 or 7 people. We'll get about 18-pound turkey. I'll get
That's what gets
spiral
me,
sliced
man.
ham.
That's-
What's the matter, Phil?
No, I was just with Mark. I was all like, at Thanksgiving, he has like, yeah, we got 3 people. And like Sundays, it's like 17. You're like,
Right.
you're like the opposite. You're like, I'm taking it easy on Thanksgiving.
I'm gonna smoke a turkey, Mark. So.
You gonna smoke one? I'm
I
thinking.
smoked one
I'm
last year.
What
thinking
you? I
about
love
deep
weed. You
frying
smoking a
one.
turkey too?
I smoked. one
Hello,
last year.
300. What's up, man?
What were you saying though, Mark? Last year?
I think
Last
what
year
I'll
you said-
probably do because I'll be cooking in the morning and things. We got the Lions game, and I'll probably set up a camera and live stream during the Lions game while I'm cooking dinner. Have the TV on over there, cooking dinner, chatting, have fun. It's kind of crazy because it used to be when Tracy and I first got together, she had to go to Detroit every year for the halftime show. And so for about the first 12 years or so of our marriage, every year on Tuesday, we're headed to Detroit. And we're coming back on Friday, on Black
That's why
Friday.
you like Detroit. That's why you like Detroit.
Well, Detroit became like family because it was like every year we'd go up
Right.
there. We'd get there Tuesday. We stayed in Greektown at the Casino Hotel. It's Greektown. So there's the pizza place where you got the Detroit pizza. We'd always get the first night there, and I'd go over to the casino and things, and and gamble a little bit. Come Thursday, we got to be at the stadium at 10 o'clock because they got to go down on the field for the coin toss and stuff. So it's like a family tradition there, and we got to know all the people from Detroit and things, and they're nice fans and stuff, and just never won when we were there. So, but yeah. So it kind of messed up traditional Thanksgiving for us and things. But then, of course, we'd go to my in-laws for a while. But then I do my games and things, so I need to be here. So we're going to kind of
Yeah.
split it. We'll do Thanksgiving here, and then Tracy's going to be going to her parents' house over the weekend and stuff with her sister and the kids and all that stuff. So it'll be cool.
Yeah,
I thought
my
about
in-laws are
trying to
coming
do a
over.
turducken, but I was like,
Turducken.
I was like, you know, I'm not crazy about duck. Duck is just too gamey for me. And I kind of said, you know what? That's too much
Have
work.
a turkey.
Yeah.
Like turkey key.
You know, the turkey with the duck inside of it. Yeah.
Turducken.
Bang.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
It's all about the stuffing, man. I use we make my mother's recipe with the Italian sausage and the
I do that. And I do
love
my
it.
apple
Turkey.
spice stuffing
Turkey
too.
or
yeah. I've had that too. Yeah.
First thing.
The apple spice stuffing is almost like dessert.
I mean, you gotta.
Oh,
you
it's
gotta,
good. Oh, it's
You gotta
good.
simmer the onions and the celery and the butter and all the herb, in one pot, and then you get the bread and then you mold it all together. And then you fry this, the Italian sausage up and like crumbles, and then you mix it all together.
Mm-hmm.
It's banging, it's good.
Yeah.
So
Tennessee's driving.
the Cowboys front office don't want to change their looks or ways. It's like that guy dressed like in the
true.
90s with a mullet. Still
Okay,
think
he
they're
keeps bringing.
style.
That's all his repertoire is wrapped around that 90s.
Listen,
shit.
in
But anyways,
Philadelphia, just remember
Dude,
this, man. You win a Super Bowl ain't easy. And you should know because you only got one.
Ouch. But you would think
But I
that they
mean-
win them every year the way they talk.
But I mean,
It ain't easy,
okay,
man.
let's go past that. Let's
It
jump
ain't
on his whole
easy.
thing. Like, I would like some different color. I mean, I get it, tradition, the white jerseys, but dude, come on, man. Like, let's switch it up occasionally. Let's get that dark blue. Let's do something, man. Oh, it's just traditions and traditions.
I tell
Think
you
about
what,
how much jersey.
like when Washington came out in the black uniforms, those looked good.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Listen,
there's so
man,
much stuff
I'm going to
that can
send
be
you a
done here.
picture
It's like,
of a
that blue.
rendering.
that
you
blue
tell
one
me.
that CD Lamb has. That one,
Hey, call a spade
that
a
was
spade.
amazing.
Here, I'm going to send you guys a picture. And this friggin' uniform is nice.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Find
just like
it,
there's
though.
just a lot of possibilities there that he don't,
I don't know where it is. Oh,
just
there it
don't
is.
jump on.
I like this, man. I like this.
You got teams like the
It's coming your
like in
way.
college, like Oregon, that like
What, you're
doesn't wear
emailing
the
it to
same
me?
jersey.
No,
You can't do
that's a
anything like
text.
that.
Oh, okay. Let me grab my cell phone. It's over on the charger.
I like this because it's like black, but it's dark. But it's
Yeah, see, that's the one I was talking about.
that's
the
a
exact
nice
one.
uniform right there.
Yeah, that's exactly this one I was talking about.
Like, why can't we do that instead of going with the black? So there you go. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like with that, it's like there's so many different things they could do. But
I like
the
that
white,
because it still sticks with the
traditional,
black. Yeah, I know. Listen,
everything-
I like the black. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have the signed helmet, but that'll never happen. It's very black. He might if
We're
he can make enough money.
You
That's
know
what
we
I'm saying.
can't
The money
change
is
that
there.
stuff
It's
up.
like it's just come on.
I mean, he's selling it. I mean, if you notice, he sells the black. The army. The
yeah, they sell it.
service
Yeah.
black.
You can sell it all you want, but I want to see this on the
There it
field,
is
man.
right there. That looks good.
Give me some camouflage on the field. Like maybe we can
That
sneak
looks
past
good.
them or something.
What the CD one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
Actually, that would look good with the white helmet that they're going to be wearing for Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
though, too.
Yeah,
That would
that
really look cool.
I mean, I like that because it's
Like,
dark,
I
but it's
yeah.
not black. Everybody does black. I like the dark navy. That's nice.
But you still have that feel. You know what team
Yeah.
it is. You know.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. It's just
I don't understand why they feel the need, and that's the one thing I'll say about Philadelphia. We are stuck in the past.
Mhm.
Nobody's saying that we're gonna. Oh, there it is. Touchdown. Oh no,
he dropped it.
yeah, we're stuck in the past in the sense of the jersey.
You know what I mean?
incomplete.
Nobody's saying we're getting away from what we do good. But I will be honest. I love the old Denver Bronco blue helmet. I just love that. I love the old Patriot.
But that's okay. Let's bring that back.
Helmet with the
occasionally.
white
one
helmet.
game. Pick a game. Bring those back. Like one game. Like
But we
You
don't
can have
have
that on
anything
different
really that
teams.
we
You
used to like. I want something
well,
new.
I mean, that's when they whip out that Kansas City Cowboys one, right?
Yeah,
That's usually what they try to do.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Did he get that? Did the ball touch? The ball didn't touch the ground.
Looks like it's a
They're taking.
touchdown.
Oh, so they are taking our game plan.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hey
Looks like a
man,
touchdown
you can't
to me.
take our game plan.
Is it a touchdown or is it?
It's a touchdown. That's a
No,
touchdown.
but it's
That's
a touchdown, but they're not calling it a touchdown. They're gonna have to review it. It's a reviewable play, right? It's in the end zone.
Yeah, well, it's a scoring
Yeah.
possibility. It has to be reviewed. That's a touchdown, and then he pulls it out the very end.
Okay, it's a touchdown.
Thank
That
you.
is.
Okay, so
It was a touchdown, so now they're reviewing it to see if it was a touchdown.
You're like, should I challenge it? Do I have to challenge it? Come on, man.
They're
Can we
not saying
challenge
it's a
it? You want me to challenge it? It's a scoring play. You want to challenge it? It's like,
if it's
Mike
not, if
Vrabel
it's not a
was like-
touchdown, then it's an interception
Yeah, but
or a fumble.
No.
what they did
Like-
was they said it was a touchdown.
Okay,
has
so
to
it's a
be a
touchdown.
touchdown.
Okay, they're kicking the
Yeah,
extra
I guess
point.
they reviewed it and said it was a touchdown.
it's like if that is like that interception would be so delayed.
No, if the ball had been moving and he hadn't
If he had
controlled,
been moving,
'cause-
but yeah,
right?
he had total
And I
control of
couldn't, I
that.
couldn't tell from there. All I could
Bad,
see
that
is the
was
guy,
bad.
other guy came up with the ball. Okay, so Ryan Tannehill looking pretty good tonight.
You're about to take our playbook and throw an interception in the end zone. That's my quarterback. You can't be doing that.
Yeah, but they've been running the ball effectively enough that you got them guessing.
That's how you lose this game. And look how close this game is. That's what I'm saying. That's how
Yeah.
you lose it, is by doing that end zone crap like we were doing. That's
How
exactly.
Chris
You can't call
how
that an
concerned am I
INT, you can't
about
call
the
it
Eagles
touchdown.
getting?
Yeah.
I'm no more concerned about them getting Ndamukong Suh than I was about them getting Robert Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, they're very good names. Don't get me wrong. Very
Yeah.
good names. Can possibly give you a play here and there. But again, we're not the dominating forces that they were. But again, Quinn did have some good, 18 sacks last year?
Again, he's
But-
good one year and bad the next.
And that's how he's been on the pattern. That's correct.
And the other
One-year
thing is,
contract. So these are all 1-year contract things too, because
yeah,
as soon as that, they're dropping some stuff, that's dead money in some spots. But yeah, so it's interesting to see these moves. I mean, I give them credit because they're named players. And I mean, last time Sue played, Super Bowl, right? So
no, he played last year for Tampa Bay, didn't he?
did he? Yeah, maybe.
I think he was on Tampa Bay last year.
But I thought he was with the Rams with their whole thing. That's what I was saying. I thought they were with
Was
the
it with the
Rams,
Rams?
with their Super Bowl. Because then you go Buccaneers and then Rams or something like that. I might be mistaken, but I swear he was
I
with the
think
Rams.
you are mistaken on that one. I think he was still with Tampa last year. But let me double check. Yeah, he was with Tampa last year, had 6 sacks and 27 tackles.
That's still pretty good for a whole season.
Yeah.
That's what
He
I'm saying.
was
They'll
with the
do- they'll play pretty
Rams
good.
in 2018 when he had 4.5 sacks and 59 tackles.
Yeah, I remember when Glimmerman's like, didn't he stomp one of our players? Yeah, I remember that
Yes,
when he
he
was
did.
with the Tennessee, right? When he was still with
No, he was with
Oh
Lions.
man, who was it? Oh,
That was Hainsworth.
Hainsworth. No.
Albert
There was somebody
Hainsworth
else, wasn't
stomped
there?
Al
No.
Jarreau.
Oh, he was Green Bay, right? I don't remember who it was. Sue
Sue was
stomped on
with
somebody.
the Lions.
Detroit. He was
The
with
Lions.
Detroit, but who was he going against? Was he going against us?
I don't think it was against us. The one that stomped on Gerard was Albert Hainsworth. And that was just before he left to go to
Hainsworth.
Washington.
Oh, they did count it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Yeah, those are all blending together,
That was the stitches. Yeah, he did get stitches on his face from that.
Yeah. Let's get back to the game. Coming up, just a quick.
the
Don't
fourth
you think
quarter.
it's a big it's a big test for us, and it's a statement on where we're at? Are we going to be every year? We seem like we go into a lull. Remember last year, coming off the bye, we got smoked by the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
you know,
That's true. That's true.
it's a big like. Are we going to fall into that 2-3 game skid, or are we going to step up? Are we a different team? It'd be curious.
I'm curious if we can get another 4 in a row.
Well, it's a big game, and if we can win this, then you throw away the Green Bay game, and we're right where we're supposed to be. If we lose it, we're kind of a game behind where we need to be. Um, we're all assuming that we're just going to win all 3 of these home games, but I sure hope it's always good going into Thanksgiving with a win.
It does.
'Cause it's tough enough, let alone having to have that. Oh my God, we have to. Not that you don't have to win; it's a division game, but you got to play the game regardless. Why not win the game in Minnesota? And then you get that mini bye again after the Thanksgiving game. You get 10 days, and you're home, which hasn't happened in a while.
Ooh.
Jim Laws. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, the thing about it is I didn't like is that I saw that Dak was like, yeah, we know this is a playoff game. It has, implications within the division, blah, blah, blah. Anytime he ever comes out and says it,
James Snyder.
We-
I
we-
hope
we-
you're right.
we
never
shit on
really good.
ourselves.
Like, we know shit. And just like, well, we know you're going to not do well then.
What did he say?
Model for
I'm sorry.
Christ. Titans are
That
for
he-
real.
he
They
was
should
saying
have
that
beaten
he
Kansas City.
He understood that this is like a playoff whole game where
Good night, Mary.
the division
Well,
and everything. And that's usually when I see them play flat.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but he made a statement after the game. But, and I know they have to keep the locker room. They're like they're like a tight knit group. But like to a fan, after you guys just choked up a game that you should not have choked up, and then say, "Well, we're a brotherhood. We love each other." That's great, but the
That's
fans
not what we
want.
want. Yeah.
win.
I want to see you
That-
pissed off myself. That's what I want to see. I want to see you
That's like
angry.
we're a brotherhood. Okay, you guys can be brotherhood in the off season. Let's win the damn game that
what
was
would
on
piss
the
me.
table to be won.
Yeah, that would piss me off with Jason Garrett and Romo.
Yeah.
When they would do
Yeah.
their interviews, I was like, God, come on, dude. Don't be just, next
Oh,
year.
Jason Garrett. Oh,
I didn't like
jeez.
that. That's like that vanilla ass explanation. It was just,
Well, we have to look at the film and see what you're talking about. And so, I love the way our guys competed and the way they
fought
worked
to the
out.
end,
Oh,
they
it's
didn't
like,
give
shut up. I want to get something like this.
4 picks against Grossman and 2 fumbles. Would you
I
see
wanna get
about
something like
the
this.
Bears, would shut them down that way?
No, we just the Bears are what we thought they were. They're what we thought they were.
Give me some
We
passion or
played them in
something.
preseason. Who the hell takes a third game in the preseason like it's bull? We played them in the third game. Everybody played 3 quarters.
Put a crown
The Bears
on that.
are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass.
Give me some passion.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Rest in peace, Dennis Green.
I'm telling you, the only reason why I had any kind of small thing respect for Garrett was the HBO stuff, the Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
You start actually seeing him cussing and doing. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, where's this
yeah.
guy? This is the guy I want to see. I
It
don't
looked
wanna
so
see this
fake.
whole-
I'm sorry. It looked so fake.
I will say this though. I was happier than anything to see McCarthy slam his headset because he did what everybody who's a Dallas fan was thinking. Like, you got to be effing kidding me.
But-
and he destroyed that headset. I mean,
But for him, you know what? Screw him. For him to show up there in Green Bay with the damn Vince Lombardi trench coat on, like he's freaking Vince Lombardi returning, or Patton returning, or I mean not Patton, McCarthy returning to the Philippines or some shit. You were supposed to get bitch slapped for doing that shit.
all right.
Ivory said,
Poor
"Mark,
guy.
I want a shirt that said the brother screwed us." I'll have to ask Tracy if she'll do one of those for me. Even in a loss, I would rather hear something like this.
Well, what happened was that second game, we got our ass kicked, or the second half. We just got our
Jim
ass
Mora.
totally kicked. We couldn't
Wow.
do diddly poo offensively. We couldn't
Diddly
make a
poo.
first down. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to
That's like
run
a
the ball.
term.
We couldn't complete a pass. We sucked. The second half, we sucked. We couldn't stop the
That's
run.
all I want.
Every time they got the ball, they went down and got points. We got our ass totally kicked in the second half. That's what it boiled down to. It was a horse performance in the second half. Horse. I'm totally embarrassed.
Can we get something like that from our coaches?
Coaching, our coaching did a horrible job. The players did a horrible job. We got our ass kicked in that second half. It sucked. It stunk.
Stuck.
He should have pissed at Mike Fisher said he should have pissed on the G at midfield. He should have. Give me some passion. And I don't know, maybe this whole thing is, the kinder, gentler, where everybody's got to get a trophy and stuff, and you can't say anything to the players that, man, put a foot in their ass, man. Fire somebody up. Jimmy Johnson, you fuck up, man. Look, take your asthmatic self over on the other field and cut somebody. Jalen Tolbert, cut somebody just to make a statement, okay? Jalen Tolbert, goddamn it, you line up offside, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, excuse me. Get the hell out of here.
Sleep in the meeting. You're gone. But they would never have done that to Dion or Michael or.
Oh, of course not. There's different rules for those guys. But when you messed up, like when Bill Parcells, the look Bill Parcells would get you, sit your ass down on the bench and stuff. These guys screw up. Oh well.
Now with the salary cap, you can't do it. Well, this guy's making this X amount of money. We're on the hook. We got to let him slide.
Looks like the Titans are going to blow them on out of here.
Ivory's like, Mark, I'm telling you, you can make some money off of those Brother Screwed Us shirts.
Brother Screwed Us.
The brother screwed us.
I think.
Interception. There we go.
Fucker.
You know what? It's only a 10-point lead as opposed to the 14 we had. Okay. So Ryan Tannehill is what we thought he was.
That was a
horrible pass.
That
was a horrible pass. Yeah, James Snyder, what's up?
Oh. Yeah.
James Snyder.
Thank you, James.
At least he made the tackle.
I miss John Facenda and the old NFL Films voice. I mean, like anytime that's on TV, I like watching that stuff. The music and the horns.
This just shows how bad the Cowboys are. Why? The Cowboys had a bad game? Come on, guys.
There we go.
Come on. Seriously.
They're doing the same thing.
Luis Mendez. Come on, man. You weren't saying that when it was up 28-14 rolling.
Yeah. Shit happens. Guys, seriously.
That's the truth.
We think that the Dallas Cowboys that won Super Bowls never had some bad games or some bad plays.
I remember those years. They were I remember them like they were yesterday. They were frustrating years. I was at the game that they stopped. I said it before. They stopped Zeke. They stopped Emmett on 4 straight running plays. They stopped him again. That was Barry Switzer. That was the Eagles Super Bowl. We won 11 games that year. We won 11-5.
Right.
We won the Super Bowl that same year. So it's funny. Eagles fans, that was our best. I told that to my cousin. I still haven't heard nothing on Facebook. He was like, "Oh, this is a great time. They stopped him again. He's running into the line." Yeah. And then I said, "Yep." And we won the Super Bowl that year. So you had your Super Bowl, and we actually had a Super Bowl. So I know they don't want to hear that, but we won 11 games.
But the thing about it is in football, here's the thing in football. I don't care if it's a blowout or a close game. You can point to about 4 or 5 plays that could swing a game in the whole other direction. Mm-hmm. It's literally that close, and it doesn't matter who you're playing.
Yeah,
the Texans. The Texans are literally 1 score away every week from being, a playoff team.
It's true. The NFL, it comes down to a handful of plays. What do you do in them plays?
Yeah,
very few games are blowouts. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's nice when we get them. Sometimes the score never indicates how close the game was. Look at the Tampa game. We were in that game up until, I think, through the 4th quarter, and then it got out of control.
How many teams have won the Super Bowl with less than 2 losses? Pretty much almost everybody. there are very few teams that are 14-0 that won the Super Bowl.
So asking, do we draft a wide receiver in the first round? I don't think statistically that's always a good thing. Wide receivers in the first round don't tend to always work out. There's only like a couple of them. They're usually second rounders, and that are the big ones. So I would still continue building this line, get maybe even a run stopper, and on the defensive
You know
line.
what we need,
but I would
though?
just go line.
That's what you really need is the run stopper on the defense.
And wide receiver second round. Tight end third round, so we can move on from Schultz.
Oh no, boys! I think we need a corner.
Yeah, we need to get a corner, not draft a corner.
Well, I don't care how.
We need to
We need to get a cornerback.
We need to know what we're
Yeah,
getting.
I like that idea of getting a veteran, but they're expensive.
Yeah, they are, but at the same time, it's
when we have a lot of
that's where they need
things we need already, so to re-sign. But yeah, like we need a corner. We need. I think we need another edge.
I'm going to point out something here. I know that regardless of what happens this year, that everybody's going to talk about how bad the Cowboys are and how bad Mike McCarthy is and things like that. I'm not going to say we're a lock to make the playoffs, but I think we have a pretty good chance of making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time the Cowboys made the playoffs in back-to-back years?
Yeah, please tell me.
Chan Gailey.
Oh, Chan Gailey.
In like 97 and 98. It's been that long that we've had the Cowboys actually make it to the playoffs 2 years in a row. So, people are going to say if we don't win the Super Bowl, it's a failure. I mean, you want to win the Super Bowl every year, but, if we do that, at least that's an improvement over what we have done. Every time we've had a good year, we followed it up with a year that's been ass.
I look at this NFC again. I'm not. We could beat anybody, and we could lose.
And we could lose to anybody.
We could lose.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I mean, but there's not that juggernaut team. I think Tampa is going to get better.
But at least you have a feeling that you can beat them, that you could actually win the game.
But there's nobody that's scary. Come on, the Eagles are the best team. That's a great thing to have because we play the Eagles so well.
Quite frankly, you got to watch out for the Commanders now in the rearview mirror too. I'm telling you, the change in thought of the ownership. I'm telling you, you're going to see a much improved Washington team. Attitude is everything. You now have hope.
I think that was their Super Bowl too.
Heineke will ultimately let you down.
Yeah, he's a good.
They can only go so far. It's nice what they're doing. Whoa, where are you throwing that ball? Come on, big guy. Come on, man.
That looked like ass, Aaron.
Come on, Aaron. What's the matter?
Come on, Aaron.
Ron.
I love how Ian Rappaport tweet from earlier. The rich get richer. The Eagles are signing.
Yeah.
Ndamukong Suh and beefing up their defensive front with a top free agent. But I'm kind of like, are you sure that he's still that dude? Isn't that what they said about Robert Quinn the week before or 2 weeks before?
I forgot about Quinn.
And here's the thing. Now, these guys have to learn the system and so on.
Yeah.
So let's suppose they're not in position because they don't know the calls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now you got 3 guys that you're going to start throwing in here that have not been in your system.
Limmerman, we own Heineke. You know that.
Eyebrows.
There it is. See? There he is. Eyebrows. We just got to have faith in our Cowboys team. Because you got to have faith.
No, I don't think they're like, Mark, do you think we'll play Seattle in the first round? I mean, let's say we are. I mean, let's say we're in the bottom part. We would play higher teams that are ranked.
Well, right now we're set to play Seattle, which is ranked higher than Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of football. I'm not even looking at that now.
yeah.
That's a lot of wins away from that.
Hey, think about it. I mean, that's
Not
still a lot of
time-wise,
football.
but games-wise.
Here's an interesting quote from Micah Parsons after they, blew the 14-point lead in the fourth quarter. We learn, we grow shit. It won't happen again. If Dak goes out there and gives me a lead again, I promise we won't do that. We'll make sure it does not happen again.
I like that.
Sounds like he's taking ownership of it. We're as much
I
to
like
blame
that.
on this, and we help to control our destiny as well.
I like it. I like it. Hey, Phil, did you read?
Also, we have whether I have 3 sacks, 0 sacks, no tackles, 20 tackles. All I want to do is win. I want to be around people who want to win as bad as I do.
Look for Basham to be active this week. I don't know. I'm thinking they're going to activate.
What you going to do about that eyebrows?
Eyebrows?
Oh, Joanne
And
Gonzalez.
my
Just love
Cowboys
you,
will
girl.
win the NFC East Championship division to control our
Model
old
for
destiny.
Christ.
I don't know about that. That would be great, but let's just win a few games in a row.
Is this Rodgers' last year if they don't make the playoffs?
No, he's resigned.
I think, he's got 50 million reasons why it isn't.
Listen, man, he's a great quarterback. He's hot, but you're only as good as the talent around you. You can get up and beat your Super Bowl, like us last week. You can beat us. And like Mark said, we're everybody's Super Bowl. People hate us.
Mm-hmm.
Either love us or you hate us. And Jerry loves it. But we get everybody's best game, which is why we need to have the mentality where you need to play for 60 minutes and just stomp people out. Once you have them, keep doing what's working. Stop trying to get cute.
Model for Christ, you have a point there. I think Leighton Vander Esch is going to have to sit soon. It's getting hard to hide him on the defense. He looks slow right now, and he's getting carried down the field much like Jalen Smith a lot of times. But you don't have too many options. I don't know what happened with Jabril Cox. What's wrong with our Cox?
Oh, no.
He blew it.
He blew it? Okay. Don't know what happened with him. I really don't. I thought he was going to end up being, really good for us.
He was a guy who plays the pass well. I don't know that he was ever a run stopper.
Mm-hmm.
That's more Damone Clark, and Damone's just getting his feet wet.
Yeah.
So
maybe he can get his feet wet sooner, and we can kind of spell Leighton Vander Esch.
What I was telling you, we use J-Ron Curse, we use Donovan Wilson. They're safeties, but we use them in the box
that heavy
like
nickel.
linebackers.
Right.
So it's a nickel, and you can run against it. So now it didn't hurt us early in the season because we played scheme, and we stayed in our lanes. We did our job. We didn't try and be Superman and go around people and try and get to the quarterback. Because when you do that, you open up wide lanes. D-Law's doing it. Micah Parsons doing it. They need to stay disciplined. Play the scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm with you. Line up. Unless he's hurt or something we don't know about. Parsons needs more snaps from the DN position. I would like you to slide in, move around the guys more, like I thought we were going to do. Like play D-Law inside some. He's very undisciplined on the outside at times. As far as the run's concerned, slide him inside. Be more creative. That's why I said, very frustrating. That's why I think they signed Tack McKinley, because they will probably want to do more stuff like that.
Jim Lofts, why are they saying Cooper Rush is better than Dak Prescott? You mean because it creates controversy and that way people...
They're not real Dallas fans, and they didn't want to see him in there.
Ooh.
That was a
damn,
pop.
that was a pop. Wow.
He's He's seeing stars.
Damn.
Look at him.
Yeah, he looks. Yeah.
Look at him. Who are you?
Well, here's
Who
a
do you play
question
for?
Here's a question.
Batman.
I believe we're going to have a lot of. I don't think Tyron Smith is going to be part of the equation next year, which is going to be somebody they're going to save.
Yeah.
As well as probably Zeke Elliott's contract. And then there's going to be the new buddy that is added to the salary cap. I think the salary cap's going to go up at least $40 million next year. There is going to be money out there. The question will will the Cowboys spend a boatload of money? Big return.
It all depends.
Will the Cowboys spend a bunch of money on re-signing early CeeDee Lamb and Diggs and or sign a few real free agents?
Well, I think you got to sign your right tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Lock him up.
You can't. Wait a minute. Oh, Terrence Steele. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to sign Terrence Steele. He's playing. Even they said it on the broadcast. Around the league, he's playing close to a Pro Bowl level.
Mm-hmm.
That's how good he's playing.
Yeah.
So you need to resign Terrence Steele. You're going to resign CD. Might as well do it early. Why just do it early. Diggs.
Jim, I kind of agree with you on that one, that they might do that with Tony Pollard, because I don't think they want to pay the running back like they did with Zeke the kind of money, and you'll probably be able to get at least a 4th round compensatory pick. I mean, and there I believe there's a bunch of good running backs that are going to be in this draft. I could be wrong on that one, but paying running backs a lot of money. It sucks if you're a running back that you don't necessarily get that big bag, but I don't see teams doing that. I'm not sure that Barkley's going to get that big bag with the Giants, but then again, I could be wrong.
It's like, Phil and the guys, do y'all seriously believe in Dak to get us far? I know with me, I believe it, but I think it's the rest of the team. He makes these idiotic mistakes that makes me question sometimes. He not the greatest at reading defenses. I think he gets fooled sometimes. Gets predetermined on whether he's going to pass it. Yeah, but I definitely think he's a really good leader. I think he has the qualities too. I mean, if the team just kind of follow the recipe, it's like you run the ball, you set up play action, you roll out, you use 12 personnel, you let them hit that bootleg and stuff. If you can stick to that type of stuff, distractions on the reverses and stuff, then he's complements that very well. But the moment that you decide, hey man, it's understandable if the defense is stopping the run, then you're just like, they're stopping these certain things from happening. Okay, now we have to rely on a quarterback to drop back 45 times a game. That should be the last straw, not the main thing going into a game.
Yeah.
And so that's that right there.
You're goes back to Boise State philosophy.
Yeah. Pass.
Yeah. I was going to say that earlier when we were talking about the play calling.
It goes to Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's the same way too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is. He's a passive person. So I mean, what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about Dak in that sense?
I think you have the capabilities of winning, but sometimes guys sometimes are outsmart themselves. If you are able to pick up 4.7 yards per run, and it's working, then you stick with it. The play action, the 12 personnel, this whole thing of, we need to go ahead and just be the mad bomber all the time. I get sick of it, and maybe it's the newfangled way that everybody will, digs the deep ball. But I look at it and say, your weakest link is your wide receivers. So why are you relying on throwing to your weakest link all the time? Clearly, your running game is your strength. Your offensive line is doing great jobs at opening holes. How many games has our running game been stopped by the opposition as opposed to our coaches?
Well, here's the thing, though, too. It's just like, okay, let's say Kellen Moore, through the game plan of the week, was throwing it to these receivers. They were catching it all week. They were doing all this stuff. And whatever you had going into there and you felt with that wide receiver core, and just did not start happening in the game. You need to adjust, and he just does not do that. Like, you got to go, okay, this is not working. Don't wait till halftime to start changing things up. Like, so that was okay. Oh, now now it is working. Now we're back up by so many touchdowns. And let's keep doing that. It's just and it takes these common sense stuff to happen, and then all of a sudden the situation happens again, and then he actually starts running the ball, but he doesn't keep that pattern. He just does it because he got in trouble or something,
Okay,
make sure you take the trash out, and he takes the trash out the next 2 times, and then that's it.
Just listen to this for a second, okay? Versus the Buccaneers, we averaged 3.9 yards rushing the football. The Bengals, 4 yards. The Giants, 5.9. The Commanders are actually the only team that really stopped us running the ball very well. 2.1. Versus the Rams, 4.8. Versus the Eagles, 5.2. Against the Lions, 4.3. Against the Bears, 6.9. Against the Packers, 5.1. That's freaking amazing that you've been able to run the football that way, but you end up
eyebrows.
Okay, attempts 18, 27, 30,
those
20.
last 2 games that were really good were without Zeke too.
Right, 6.9 yards a carry.
Yeah, I've been a Zeke guy, and for that, the last 2 games, they jumped up almost 2 yards. Like, oof.
We were always taught if you get 5 yards a carry, you're not passing the ball.
Yeah.
If I'm getting 5 yards on first down,
well,
I'm going to run it again.
It seems like to me that, what you do running the ball sets up big plays.
It does.
But they don't ever work off of each other like that. Like, you're running, then you go play action, then all of a sudden guys are wide open down the field. We don't ever get to that because when we just go on series where we just going to drop back and throw every time. Let's allow the defense to come up to the line, say, okay, enough's enough. We need to stop.
Well, that's the reason why those draw plays somewhat work, because they're pass, and then they draw. It was you tricked them with one thing and showed them and did another. But that's what you need to do the opposite as well, too. So, yeah, I'm definitely with you guys. Yeah. It's just everything that follows around with this. It's just the immaturity of the offensive coordinator,
Yeah, and it's like chess. You want to think like 3 moves ahead of what you're doing here, and you do things to set teams up. But a lot of times it seems like there's no rhyme or reason with the play calling. You'll see a great series that's called real well, and all of a sudden, and then you just all of a sudden, okay, we're going to do a gadget play. We're going to do a wildcat now. Why you need to do a wildcat? You do a wildcat because the other shit you're not doing is not working, but you've been running the football great. Now we're going to do a crazy play, and half the time it's not working, and now you put yourself in a harder position.
Yeah, Glimmer Man is talking. It's like the only problem is they don't work at the same time usually.
Well, okay, again.
Well, he's saying that the average went up with Pollard, but then we threw shorter passes. So.
True, but and there's a way of using short passings like a long handoff as well. You want to get Tony Pollard the ball in space as opposed to pounding him in the middle. And even you can look at the Washington game. Washington only averaged 3.9 yards a carry against the Eagles, but they were getting 3-4 yards on first down. Okay, we're going to run it again. Now it's 3rd down and 2 or 3. Those are more manageable plays, and you could keep on going. How many times have we gone out first down, pass it, holding penny, now it's 1st and 20. Now you got to keep passing. And it just seems like we've got something going this year with running the football, but we only do it, from time to time.
Yeah, it's hard to add on to that because that's really what it is. It's kind of just that feeling.
Set Zeke haven't had a sack. I would have loved to have had Zeke being able to pound the ball some when Tony Pollard was tired, and dispel him
at the end of the game. Yeah.
There goes Tannehill down again. Boom.
Yeah, we just don't.
Wow,
understand
Packers
highly
really suck.
intelligent
No,
kids
Mark, we
thing.
just don't understand these highly intelligent model for Christ. You're right about that. They don't seem to understand that. And that's where sometimes, it was like Jason Garrett being that Princeton grad that he was always wanted to be the smartest guy in the room. And it's like, you outsmarted yourself most of the time. Jeff Lee, you're speaking my language. We need more 12 personnel.
I'm gonna need more cowbell.
Phil and you guys, do you think our offense moves better with Pollard starting?
I'm gonna need more 12 personnel.
I don't have a problem with him starting and things in there, but you can wear him out. And see, the problem with it is, come the fourth quarter is when you really need to be able to run the football. And if you start him out and get him his 21 plays in the first three quarters, what you going to do in the fourth quarter? Eyebrows?
I'm liking Malik Davis. Malik Davis looking good.
Davis, yeah, he actually looked like the best running back on the field late in the game. And again, what, 4 rushes, 5 rushes? Okay.
You're on mute, Brian.
Yeah. You're on mute, Brian.
I see your lips are moving, but I
got
can't hear you.
I got you.
Mailman falling asleep there or something.
I was letting my dog out.
Okay.
And,
who let the dogs out, Brian?
Not me. I'm dog free again. No dogs in the house.
That's my girl. She comes up to me and whines. So I let her out.
You're talking about your wife or the dog?
The dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the wife's long gone. He gone. He gone.
All right, Aaron. You got 4 minutes and 54 seconds left to try and make some magic.
Ron.
Now, if this was the Cowboys, of course you'd come back and win. Jackass. Hate him.
He's been making some bad throws tonight. The guy's wide open. Like, where was that last week?
Again, everybody always plays well against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
The puppy went back with his. I'm only a dog sitter. That's all I am. I'm a dog sitter.
I don't know about that. Yeah, incomplete.
Juggling. Now, if that was the Cowboys, they would have called that completed. We know how that works.
Did he put it away? Nah, I don't think that's. I like that to be a catch, but the rule won't allow it. Third and one's not worth this.
You can't bobble your balls like that.
Yeah. That's horrible ball placement. Good. Thomas Garrett juggling balls. Davis is Pollard's replacement. That might not be. I don't know what Pollard's going to get offered. You would think that the GMs around the league are smart enough to know that he's not an every back. He probably won't hold up down in and down out for a whole season as the main guy. So whoever gets him is probably going to use him the same way, just pay him a lot more. Probably. Hello?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you guys were paused. I'm like,
no.
The Twilight Zone.
No, it's James Washington starting against. Oh God, James Washington hasn't even had his practice window started yet. We will lose to Tennessee, seeing that we could not beat the Packers. The Titans are so far down the road, you don't know where anybody's going to be.
Yeah, you can't do that whole they beat them, I beat them, and we beat them. You can't do that in the NFL.
I'm telling you guys, you may see the Cowboys come out like surgeons and just cut up the Minnesota Vikings, and they literally will. That's how.
I hope you're right.
I mean, I'm just saying that you don't know. You just don't know these days.
They don't even know.
For all we know, that could have been the big setup by the Vegas odds makers and stuff for the Cowboys to lose badly to the Green Bay Packers. So everybody will put all their money on Minnesota. And now everybody, and of course the Cowboys go in there, win, cover the spread, and boom, they make out like bandits. Right? In the same way, people are thinking, oh, the Green Bay Packers are back. They're playing at home. It's going to be cold. Put a whole lot of money on Green Bay. And here what happens. Titans come in there. Cold weather. Kick their ass. I've got to start questioning some of these games now. Anybody else? Am I on my own on that one?
God.
Sometimes I'm curious about some of these setups. If there are, stories that are kind of narrated a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Maybe retiring.
Okay, I tell you what. Roz messed me up.
Rodgers.
Okay, Roz messed me up because I did a video on that, and he was like, "Oh, I can't talk to you in this your frame of mind," because he's like, he said, "Think about this. After September 11th, a team called the Patriots win the Super Bowl." After Katrina,
he's a conspiracy guy.
After Katrina, New Orleans
won,
which kept New Orleans in New Orleans, and Lord knows they gave Benson half of New Orleans downtown, all these buildings and everything else, and so on.
Oh, what a catch!
You start thinking about some of those things. Say, wait a minute, is that possible? Nah. Maybe.
You wouldn't think, but I don't think that many people could keep it secret.
Yeah, I don't think so either, especially with, Antonio Brown.
Well,
let me tell you about the NFL.
I mean, it's not necessary. You don't... You sometimes wonder about some of the... Okay, think about this one with the Cowboys now. And this is where somebody really got me like, okay, wait a minute. Cowboys, that last drive in overtime, we were balling. We were moving like crazy. And then all of a sudden, Jalen Tolbert's offsides. Yeah. Then all of a sudden, that holding call, that was not holding.
It wasn't.
That was not holding.
No, it wasn't.
And then the pass interference, and you start looking at it and say, wait a minute. Something just didn't feel right on that. I mean, that was just like, hold up. That's some bullshit there.
Penalties. I always look at the penalty and go, yeah, that sucks. But I always look at there's all these plays in there that they just sucked at to make those plays
maybe
things.
I don't know.
Yeah, it just sucks to see. Even with the Eagles, they see that face mask and everything.
Cowboy male fans have sexy stomachs. Okay, Rhonda, you crazy?
Cowboy
girl.
male fans have sexy stomachs.
Ooh, you mean the beer bellies?
That
okay. Rhonda, you might want to get some glasses, girl.
You wear short shorts.
All right, so this game, I think, is over now after that.
It's over.
It's over now. I've been saying that for years. NFL is fixed. Although, I will say, it would seem like the Cowboys going and winning a Super Bowl would make more money than anything. I would think that, but then again, maybe the controversy of the Cowboys not winning it and being the talk of the town, maybe that's it. I don't know.
And they stuff them.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a little Aaron Rodgers up your ass.
Yeah. Isn't that what we were supposed to do? To Aaron Rodgers?
Run the ball, get single coverage on the outside and throw it. Yeah, that's a weird concept. I don't know why. I don't know where they're coming up with this.
Well, this should work for a while.
Well, I think a short week for Green Bay after their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, man, big oh.
Which is probably why we lose a lot on Thanksgiving. If you think about it. Well, we got a short turnaround.
Well, the fact that we got to go to Minneapolis, our second road game.
Yeah.
And it's a 4:00 game, so that means you're finishing at 7. You're getting back late.
Yeah.
On Sunday night.
They're like, okay, you're gonna get another 10-day break. We're gonna screw you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, no, we play then the following Thursday, don't we?
No, we're actually got a 10-day. This is a year that's good. We're home the following week, and we don't play until Sunday. We don't play another Thursday until Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
So who was your favorite wrestler growing up, Baskin? Who was your favorite wrestler?
Wrestler?
Yeah.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, of course. I work where he lived. I went by his house the other day, Jimmy Snuka. He was in jail. Atco, New Jersey. That's where he last resident before he died. Jimmy Superfly.
I was an Ultimate Warrior fan.
Yeah. I was like Macho Man. I was like
the Macho Man.
I was like in the early days back when they had, like I said, Jimmy Superfly Snuka and
Bob Backlund.
Sergeant Slaughter and Brutus Beefcakes and all this stuff. The Iron Sheik, yeah. Andre the Giant and stuff,
British Bulldog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was
Bret the
fun.
Hitman Hart and all that. Yeah.
Brett, yeah. The Hart Foundation.
Shit. Always wore the kilt.
Rowdy,
Rowdy, yeah.
I remember the what was it? Marty Jannetty and what was his name? The Heartbreak Kid was Shawn Michaels when they were the Rockers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, good people. We appreciate everybody being in the house and Rhonda with all of her
kinky.
Yeah, her biscuits and all that. Her biscuit recipes.
Rhonda, keep it.
Happy anniversary.
Keep it coming, Rhonda.
Oh boy.
No pun intended.
Right. And gentlemen, make sure you tell everybody about Saturday night.
Saturday, man. You can catch us on my channel, Primetime Phil, and on 7 p.m. Eastern. And we're usually try to be on with Mark prior to that, around 5 or so. And then we'll switch over and do our thing and just give us our opinion. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. So it's just one of those weeks that we're not even sure sometimes what we're going to do until we start going live.
That sounds like me.
Yeah. So, it makes the best content, and honestly, just have a great chat. I mean, the chats, they push it as well too. I mean, they have some great insight, and there's been times where I've changed my opinion about some stuff as well too. So they definitely have some great insights. But yeah, 7, and then usually the day after the game as well at 7 o'clock. So yeah, definitely find us, and appreciate you having us on, man.
Peter Thorne, what up? All right,
good people. Appreciate everybody being here, and keep the faith. We'll see what we do on Sunday. We got the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. And you know what? I think somebody was asking for this. Let me see.
Oh, no.
Huh? What?
What? Do the Commanders? Is that what you're going to do?
There we go. We appreciate them beating the Eagles.
Team, my loyalty. Okay. I'm at Uptown Royalty.
All right. Good night. Good